couch pillow, decorative pillows.
Oh, really?
How is that any different? People
I guess because you're not sleeping on those.
I don't know. They're full of.
I sleep on our couch pillows. I just had a nap earlier.
They're worse. Yeah. People sit on them and their asses are on fire.
That's what I'm saying. How many farts are in there?
Yeah.
I mean, I would hope people would wash.
Yeah.
That's all.
They're
People
not
will
washing
try.
them.
People try stuff on and all the time, and I cringe, and I'm like, why?
That was one of my questions when I get Neil deGrasse Tyson on the show one day: is how much do a lifetime of farts weigh? So I figured he might be the guy to answer that for me.
He might.
Maybe not.
So how was your new experience at that other restaurant? You said it was a new one, right?
Yeah, it was okay. You know, it's in this day and age of post-COVID restaurants.
Go ahead.
Was there a bug?
No.
Oh.
If it doesn't work, I just freaking Hulk smash some days. I'm in a Hulk smash mood.
In this day of post-COVID, you're going to run into issues like we were there 2 hours. But since we were with family and just kind of chit-chatting, it didn't feel like 2 hours.
Yeah.
I don't think we were there for 2 hours.
I questioned young Joe on it, but the time frame, it was probably like 90 minutes. It was 90 minutes, but still, it's a long time for lunch.
Was there an old Joe there? Because you had to reference young Joe.
I don't know why. I always call him young Joe. I'm not quite sure why. He does act old quite often, and we'll get to that because he speaks since he's been staying at my dad's to help during the summer. He talks very loud now, like in restaurants and everywhere, as if he's deaf. And he doesn't
like an old man.
Like an old man.
Yeah, just an old man.
I'm talking to my dad when I'm talking to Joe.
Has he started shaking his fist at you? You know.
There's been
Mom.
Similar facial things that my dad does that Joe does. But you know, they took the drink order. It was a large place. I have to say the layout was nice. I would call it like a sports bar restaurant, but it doesn't feel like it's Sunday, but it is. So they had a brunch menu and their full menu and 4th of July and all that other stuff, but there weren't many workers. So the bartender who was on the other side of the establishment was also our waitress.
The
gotcha.
establishment.
So right there, you know, it's a distance to walk over to the bar because we weren't in the bar area. She was very nice though, you know, and the food was good. I got what was called the Dirty South Burger. It should have had on it fried pickles, pimento cheese, thick cut smoked bacon. On the burger was charred nicely. It was like a really good flame broil burger, but they forgot the bacon. And to me,
that's a crime.
It is, because it completely changed the flavor of it, and it's not a Dirty South burger. Pimento cheese now on anything is just good. Like when we go to
I can't eat pimento.
I love it. We go to Chick-fil-A. I get a plain chicken sandwich. Come home, melt some pimento cheese on it. So
I as a kid, that's all I ate in the summer was pimento cheese sandwiches.
We got deviled eggs there. We got 3 of them because Samantha was there, little Killian. It was me
and
Karen,
young Joe,
and
little
young
Killian,
Joe.
young Joe, and
but
fat Carrie.
They had pimento cheese, deviled eggs. So we got 3 of them, and I have to say, and it had crumbled bacon on it. Those are pretty freaking delicious.
Ew,
but
I hate pimento cheese.
Palmento? What the fuck is
whatever
palmento?
it's called. What is it? Palmetto? Whatever?
Pimento.
No, those are bugs.
Pimento? Pimento
Whatever.
because of the peppers.
It's got chunks of shit in it.
Yeah,
Palms.
it would be known as a pimento pepper.
Okay, well,
chunks of palms, palmettos.
Palmetto bugs.
Yeah, there you go.
It was the bugs.
Roaches.
It just doesn't
Which we had
look
issues
good. It doesn't taste
think
good.
about
You know
that.
what? I was never a fan of it. I just was like, "Ooh, that's gross." And then Chick-fil-A came out with a limited edition.
I was gonna say a couple was it, like a year ago.
Yeah, it was in the fall. I wish to God it stayed on their menu. They had was their chicken sandwich with pepper jack and pimento cheese. Wow, it was just freaking delicious.
Well, hey, hold on. Let's do my Lars intro.
Okay.
All right.
It's Broadleaf Bullies talking shit. It's Broadleaf Bullies talking shit. It's Broadleaf Bullies talking shit. It's Broadleaf Bullies
It wasn't bad though, but it was very salty.
So the restaurant was good, but like Kerr got a
The intro.
the
I got a freaking
salad.
salad. Whatever the hell that.
the chipotle chicken,
Chipotle chicken, and
they
it's-
forgot the avocado on it.
Chipotle's my life.
Yeah.
Remember that video? That
Yeah.
little kid. He's
Yeah,
like, Chipotle's my life.
Yeah,
So-
Chipotle.
Look nothing like the picture.
Yeah, they did
Oh.
have Parmesan crusted tater tots. They were huge. They were like these little. They were like giant
Tater
nugs
tots. That was
of
a fucking
freaking
lie.
mashed
They were
potatoes.
They were
Yeah.
tater
They were-
balls.
They were
Yeah,
good.
yeah, that was a baked potato that big. Yeah, that was a whole potato.
Yeah, yeah. Don't call it a tater tot if
Tots
it's
are
a golf
tiny.
ball, right?
Yeah, call it
Oh,
a
yeah,
tater
no,
ball.
no.
Tater
a
tots
tot-
have a specific size and a specific shape.
like
Yeah.
a little tiny barrel. Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
was
Tater
not.
tot.
This was like 4 barrels
It
put
was
together.
like tater
It was
croquet.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
no, that was
croquet.
actually
I
it would have
agree.
been a tater keg
Yeah.
instead of a little barrel.
It was.
It was like 2 double barrels put together.
Oh my gosh.
But
How
that
many
was
do they
good.
serve of that though?
8.
too many.
Oh
serving.
gosh.
It was. You know what? The one thing I'll say about this restaurant, what really gets me is, I think the overall arching theme for me is potential. They had a great menu. The food came out.
Yeah.
There was it tasted good, but it was just missing that one next step. Everything
Yep.
was like, you are literally this close,
So
to
close.
being a great freaking place, but there's hardly anybody here, and the only thing you got right was a chocolate milkshake.
Yeah, which was killings. Like Sammy got the Nashville hot chicken sandwich, needed to be hotter. Joe got the original chicken sandwich, needed more seasoning. They forgot my bacon. They forgot your avocado.
My chicken, they forgot the salad, they forgot the avocado, but it wasn't like.
How long have they been open?
It's
That was gonna be
new.
my question.
I think it's fairly
Not
recent.
for long.
Yeah.
You know, and a lot of places try like these kind of more like abstract or like an adaptation or like a fusion type foods. And sometimes there are wins and sometimes they're just
They
not.
need to shorten the menu. I think it was such a broad menu. You know what? I'd rather have a smaller menu with awesome stuff on it.
And maybe if you guys go again when it's not like short staffed
Fourth-
and not a
4th of July.
holiday.
Well,
Yeah.
I think it was the fact that it was brunch, so that it was kind of overwhelming for you because they had a brunch menu, then they had a lunch menu,
Yeah.
and then they had this palmetto cheese, which was not spicy.
Yes, it's called palmetto
It's
for
called
life now.
palmento. Palmento.
Palmetto. I don't even know.
Palmetto.
Whatever.
Palmo.
All I know it is has chunks of stuff in it that it does
Palamato.
not taste good. It's
Palamato
disgusting.
cheese.
And you're saying it's peppers, but
You
no.
don't like peppers?
No. I love peppers, but those are not peppers.
They are. They're
I
called
don't know.
pimento peppers.
It's whatever. They're disgusting.
It's peppers, and I think it also has a little bit of extra, some other kind of funky cheese in it.
Yeah, something.
Yeah, I
something
know.
that makes
From
it
the
like
Isle
orange.
of Palms.
And,
Yeah.
it looks orange.
Well, it is
Yeah, it's
orange.
cheese. It's orange.
cheese. Has cheddar in
Like
it.
it's like an unnatural orange color.
It's
though.
like a
It's not
food
like
process.
real
It's like
cheese.
Cheese Whiz orange. Did you
Yeah,
guys eat
it's-
Cheese Whiz
it's-
out of like the
No,
jar,
Cheese
not
Whiz
the
is
spray?
disgusting. 'cause
I
it's
love
the
Cheese
cheese.
Whiz.
guacamole's fucking green. It can't be good.
Listen, guacamole is amazing.
I love,
love
good
guac.
guac. A good
Yeah,
pinky
I don't
guac.
mind orange.
Yeah.
It just when it looks like it's neon and glowing at you and stuff, it's not appetizing.
Well, I mean, but versus guacamole, you leave out for 8 seconds, it turns
Just
brown.
Yeah, the
these-
oxidation.
well, no,
At least
as
pimento
long
cheese
as you
you can
put
eat.
lime and stuff in
Yeah.
it, it keeps it from turning. And also, if you keep the pit in the avocado, it doesn't turn.
Really?
Yeah,
I didn't
Yeah.
know that.
yeah. If
So
you
Yeah.
to
use
stop
pit.
the oxidation, you keep the pit in it?
Yeah, and you want to use a
Yeah.
lot of like lime.
So what do you
Yeah.
do after you make the guacamole? You just plop a pit in the middle of your
You
guacamole?
can. Yeah, a lot of
Really?
people do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and in the restaurants, also is if you have a container of it, because it won't absorb water, just pour water on top. It prevents the air from getting to the guacamole.
Really?
Yeah. And then you just
Yeah, because
Dump
it
it.
won't absorb the water. So then when you go to crack the lid, you just dump the water out and
Yeah.
you still got fresh.
Yeah.
Interesting. Because like we go to some great places that have they make it fresh, chunky
yeah.
guac. But then, we bring it home and it just looks so gross. I can't eat it.
Kevin knows how much I love because he'll make me a lot of guacamole and stuff, and it's like it's so good.
And then
Like,
I'll
so
thin
good.
then I'll thin it down and make just a salad dressing.
Yeah.
Thin it down with some
Yeah.
olive
Yeah.
oil.
So good.
So
Yeah, I grilled yesterday. We had Sammy, her husband Zach over, and little Killian, and just there's a butcher in Greenville that's called Revival Butcher, and it's owned by brothers. They're probably, gosh, they're young. I would say early 30s, and they're real deal butchers. And they were in this small space in West Greenville, which is a very artsy, cool vibe type of place. And they moved a couple locations down a year ago to this huge spot. And I went in there on Thursday. It was like the mecca of meats. You name it, they have it. And they make fresh sausage. So I got Thai fried garlic sausage and Old World kibasi.
The mecca of meat.
And then also brisket burgers
Yeah.
that were freaking delicious and sliders. So that's what we had yesterday with the tortellini salad, some fresh corn on the cob.
Everything. Yeah.
So
That's
and then
good.
did fireworks last night.
Yeah.
Didn't burn the
Nice.
house down, so that was good.
Yeah.
I'm always nervous with it.
We had hot dogs last night.
We had hot dogs.
Yeah. Hot dogs and beans and fries.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then tonight we had a baked potato that Kevin baked and then mashed up and did cheese.
Like a twice baked
Like
baked
hot
potato.
sauce.
Twice
Yeah.
baked
hot
potato.
sausage, and then I candied bacon the day
Yeah.
before, and then he added that.
Yeah.
What seasonings did you use
For the sausage?
on the potato?
Oh,
I
on
know
the-
you
oh,
made
on the
curry
potato?
one in the past.
I did
It was really good.
the Lars spicy and then the Stogie Roads.
Nice.
Yeah.
So
It was
I
really
did
good.
them-
It
I
had
did them
it's
both.
such a nice
Those
crust
two
to it, too.
seasonings I find really complement each other
I
really
agree.
well. You know, there's not like a whole bunch of
Yeah.
one thing in the Stogie Roads and a whole bunch of one thing in the Lars.
Yeah.
I know. I
Then
made
you get overpowering, but between those two,
I made a little bit of chicken
Yeah.
salad the other day with the curry again.
Yeah.
Oh, so good.
Not good.
Oh,
Yeah.
so freaking delicious.
Best
It's
fucking
so
thing in the
good.
world. Best thing for,
It really
for
is.
chicken salad, man. It doesn't translate well in tuna salad, but it definitely.
I
tastes
don't
good.
like tuna, so I wouldn't know. But the chicken salad, it's now my new favorite thing. Like I'm like.
I'm an egg salad. I wonder how it would go. Like egg. You think it
I
would go
don't
in
know.
egg?
It's probably pretty good.
You think so?
I think so. What
Yeah.
curry?
Yeah.
No, yeah, the curry.
I
with
think
the egg.
curry. I think curry would go well in it. I also think that the seasoned salt, like Lars, would do really well with it. As you know.
Yeah.
But I don't think the curry wouldn't be that bad at all.
Well, I think in a lot of Indian dishes there's eggs, so I would just, not that I eat Indian food, but
But if they don't make egg salad.
I would think that curry would
Because there's
complement
eggs
it.
Yeah.
in it doesn't mean
Well,
there's
they use-
eggs in fucking cake. You're not putting curry on it.
You could.
No,
you could
but
make a curry
honestly-
There's
cake.
eggs in it. Put curry on it, Kev.
It would probably be good.
You could do a
like,
curry
in,
cake.
in like a cob, like maybe like a Cobb salad or something. Sprinkle some curry
It's
on
not a
it.
cake.
I bet you could. I bet there's
Yeah,
pastries
I-
with curry in it.
Jess is like, shut the fuck up. you
I'm just
asshole.
like, okay, you go ahead, Kerr. I'm ready.
I'm not even trying to get you going. I'm just.
Listen, that picture you sent of Killian, is he wearing one of you guys' safety goggles?
Yes, the green
Yeah,
ones.
The green one.
I saw that. I was like, I think
Isn't
he's
that
wearing one of
cute?
your safety goggles. He's so cute.
Yeah, he was sitting next to Kerr, had his goggles on, his sparklers, which he was trying to blow out. So we're like, no, you got to keep your arm
Yeah.
extended.
I
Like,
said, here's your sparkler. We're going to hold it prop style.
Oh,
yeah.
Someone's got to make like a big sparkler, like the size of a baseball
They probably
bat,
do.
and then hold that bastard.
I think they do.
I don't know. I've seen. I've had them where they were pretty decent size, but a few years ago, and I'll squeeze this one in before Kevin starts our little intros. A few years ago, her dad gave us these freaking sparklers,
Oh Lord,
and I was like, I swear to God,
they're pretty big.
they were big, but I even think the print on it was like, you know, from the 50s, like the guy,
Oh.
like the kids, like they were old.
It reminded me of like those punks that you used to in New Jersey Light, and you would scent like cattails.
Oh
dried
yeah,
out
yeah,
punks.
yeah.
Yeah.
I remember. Yeah.
So basically, and then when I opened them up, they were like half of them were cracked and some falling
Crumbling.
apart, and I'm like, you'd light one, it would kind of like fizzle. So I was like, I'll just light like 2 or 3 together, and I
Yeah.
did, and it must have been the 3 that decided that it was going to burn from top to bottom very quickly. I had no hair on my hand.
Scared.
Yeah.
the
My
crap
whole
out of
hand
me.
was in flames.
Yeah. That's like those. That's like you're like that commercial where it's like, "Be safe, kids."
Yeah. Be safe.
Never,
I
never accept fireworks from Pop Pop. That's my favorite.
They have been
That they
sitting
pull-
in his
that
garage for I don't know
Yeah, I was
how
gonna
long.
say it, where they pull out of
Yeah.
their like root cellar.
Exactly.
I remember
Out of
these
the
from when
cold
I was a
chute.
kid. Whoa. Hold on
Yeah.
here.
I got
Yeah.
these from my grandfather.
Is that nitroglycerin pop? You know, what are you giving us here?
He brought
Oh,
him
that's
back
funny.
from the war. They're all good.
Yeah. Yeah. So, well, on that note, I'm Kevin.
I'm Jessie.
I'm Kerr,
I'm Jen,
and we are
the
Broadleaf
Broadleaf
Bullies.
We talk. You listen. We are the Broadleaf Bullies. And here's your hosts, Kev, Kerr, Jessie, and Jen.
So happy Independence Day. I feel like we haven't done this in ages, which actually the last episode was Father's Day. So we're in a
Yeah.
holiday theme.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that-
yeah,
that-
we are.
that we
That's what
are.
it seems
so
like.
Happy 4th of July, you murderous traitors. You
Yeah.
know, like, or,
Sorry, Des.
yeah. Sorry, Des. Yeah, we haven't heard from Des all day.
I know.
Yeah.
He was smoking a rebellion cigar
I know, I
on
saw
Facebook.
that.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, I
I wonder
saw
if
that.
that was.
Yeah.
poor Des.
Put it in the past, Des. It's okay.
Yeah, put it in the past.
I mean-
It's, I mean, just because we stole your prints and then, and did all that
Just-
stuff to your tea.
Just
you know.
just move along.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Just,
Nothing to see
yeah.
here.
That's
Boston
it.
Harbor is now just
Yeah.
a big pot of
Man.
Yeah.
sweet tea.
That's it.
Yeah. Sweet tea. Sweet
I'm
tea.
still holding the grudge over Northern Ireland too, so you know, it's a thing.
It's a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember a comedian was talking. He said he was in England. And he goes, I was there for 4th of July. He goes, I got in this cab, and I was like, all excited. Cab driver was like, hey, what's so exciting? He goes, it's the 4th of July. It's Independence Day. He goes, oh, that's right. How silly of me not to celebrate that holiday. You know, you and your hot dogs and everything and your barbecues.
Yeah.
Freaking Americans.
You go with your independence. Yes. Sorry, I'm not having anything.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh my god, it's so funny because like I guarantee you there's like so many people out there who probably don't even realize the whole 4th of July independence. And
Right. Or like they just don't really know what it stands
Everyone
for.
like-
outside of the U.S.
No, but I think there's a lot of people in the U.S. It's if you probably were like,
True.
oh, you know what?
No, I honestly think there are people in the
Oh,
U.S. that
today.
have no idea.
Kara has a great story for you.
Oh,
This happened
God.
at the new restaurant today.
I was like, fuck, no wonder my food's fucked up.
Yeah. It was great.
So this girl comes over who had given us our drinks and just literally looked like she was lost. She hands out her drinks and she's like, I got 2 waters. Did anybody order waters? I'm like, no, but if you leave them here, we'll drink them. She's like, yeah, but I don't know if anybody else ordered them. Do you know if anybody else ordered them? I'm like, I'm not fucking at their table. How would I know that, right? So we're like, there's a Star Wars Revenge, the Empire Strikes Back, and then the Solo movies here, and then it was, and she goes, there's a lot of Star Wars movies on. I go, yeah, there's 2 separate ones. This, you know, the New Hope just ended, and now this is Empire Strikes Back. And she's like, I know, that's on all day. And I go, hey, it's how you got to celebrate Independence Day is a Star Wars movie. Nothing says more, you know, more, what I say? Nothing says more about Independence Day than Star Wars. And she's like, oh, yeah, you know, movies about World War II. And then walked away.
No, she did not.
Yeah, she did. And Joe was
my.
trying to cover for her by saying, you know, they're movies about fighting for freedom. And
No.
Yeah.
she said it
No.
was World War II.
She said, oh, yeah, movies about World War II and
Yes,
all.
because they fought in
Yeah.
space.
Yeah.
You know.
And-
Yeah. I mean,
Maybe she meant the second war against.
No.
now you're covering
I
Jen.
know. It was
Yeah.
horrible. She was young and just.
Heil Hitler.
Oh my God, World
She-
War II.
Yeah, she was quite dope.
And I looked at Jen when she walked away, and I go, I can't see. But was she laughing and joking, or was she just no? She was dead serious.
She just walked away trying to find the table that needed 2 waters.
She has no clue.
Apparently the last 2 waters that they had, to order 2 more waters would have been too much.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or to go fill 2 more waters and find the table that ordered the 2 waters, because
I think she may have been the hostess. I'm not sure.
Like 6 people was too much.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it broke her brain because she was standing there. I go, can we get some straws? She's like, oh yeah, the straws, straws. And I'm
so
like,
you guys are gonna be that kind of table.
Yeah,
straws.
And I'm sitting there thinking,
how dare
and I want plastic straws, not the new paper straws.
You're looking at the screen, and they are on the planet of Hoth, and they're riding tauntauns, and there's big AT-ATs, and they're flying these ships and shooting lasers.
Kevin doesn't know what you're talking about. He's never seen Star
I
Wars.
know
He knows it's not World War II.
I haven't seen Star Wars, but I've seen a lot of World War II movies.
I think if he saw Star Wars,
maybe
he
it
would
could have
never
been in
go,
Russia.
wow, that looks a lot like World War II.
What is that? Vietnam? Where is that? Yeah.
Maybe Vietnam is when they're
Dagobah.
in Dagobah Swamp.
I'm like, lightsaber. I remember that from Patton.
Yeah,
that's right.
When you start seeing all the little Ewoks and stuff, and you see Chewbacca, that makes you think of World War II.
But when she was talking about it, they literally were on Hoth.
Yeah.
They were riding around these tauntauns, which are like 2-legged camels with horns. The AT-ATs are just like 20 stories high, and they walk. They're like freaking robot dogs that transporters. You got ships shooting at them, and I'm just like.
And on the other screen, because it was TNT East and TNT West, so that's how we had like all Star Wars around us, and it was the Solo movie, and it was the scene where they were like on the Wookiee island or whatever. So clearly, you just have Wookiees all around you as well.
Yeah, apparently. Well, Graham actually got to ride a camel.
Awesome.
And Kevin, totally was like, hey, guess what? You want to hear a fun fact? Most camels are imported from Australia to the Middle East.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, the majority of camels in the Middle East come from Australia.
I didn't know they had camels in Australia.
Yeah,
they don't. They're in the Middle East.
But I've heard that before. But when Kevin told me that, it wasn't really a fun fact because I already kind of knew that. But now I kind of actually should have researched why.
Yeah.
Why do they import them?
They just wanted to keep the kangaroos to themselves and get rid of other animals?
No, but I wonder why is it because it's sort of like our bobcat issue? Is there too much of the same breeding going on, or? Were they not
the Middle
having
East
enough?
Is pretty goddamn big.
Yeah, I just find that interesting. Why are they importing?
Export your freaking
camels?
problems away.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
But
how did they get there to begin with?
Yeah.
And then how did they become experts on breeding?
Yeah. How does Middle East and Australia get together? And it's just like, good day, mate. We would like to have. What is that with two humps?
Yeah.
That's a camel, mate.
Yeah, like they're having a meeting. It's like, hey, we're having a problem with our camel breeding. Where should we go? And someone's like, hey, Australia.
Yeah.
Yeah, that seems cool.
What a cool experience, though, for Graham. I mean, he's literally in the desert and, getting to ride these camels. And then they have these SUVs, and they're going through these sand dunes, and they pull up, and all of a sudden there's, a beach, with water and stuff. He was showing me some of the footage, and I was like, oh, my God, this is crazy. Just absolutely insane.
That's awesome. Also, there's a news article, Australia exports camels for Saudi dinners.
Oh, it's for food?
No, I don't know.
It's for food,
I don't
Kevin.
know.
Crocodile ranches to emu farms. Australia has well-established reputation for raising exotic meats.
It's for food.
Oh, I didn't know what it was for. I just said camels.
Kevin,
sorry, Jessica.
Terrible.
Wow,
Okay,
that was really misleading. You guys are acting like
like it was for
they've
them
been
to ride.
importing. They've been exporting camels for centuries. The prince when he's freaking riding through the desert in 800 BC.
I didn't know
Crocodile
that.
Dundee's shipping his camels to him.
I don't think Kevin did.
I don't research all my fun facts. I just know a fun fact, and that was a fact.
He didn't read underneath that
They import
fact.
more camels from Australia than they breed. I didn't know they were for
Yeah,
eating.
on ice.
Yeah,
Oh.
I didn't know that. I thought they were alive.
No.
Well,
I may
they
have to
probably,
research that.
They probably are alive. They just,
no.
I can't imagine
Oh, yeah.
them
It's
killing them in
worse.
Australia
They're
and then
already,
sending
like,
them.
Yeah, it's actually probably
No.
less import duties if they're alive than it is on meat.
I don't know. I would think that it would be fresher.
How do you know?
Considering,
Which are the ones to eat and which ones are the one to ride?
yeah, I wonder if the humps matter. Like, which food's better?
All humps matter.
What does it say, Jen, in your
Yeah.
research?
Your
Let me
research
see.
is about as efficient as Kevin's.
Let me see.
No, they just import them from Australia.
We're all hanging here, and then you said emu. You threw an
So
emu.
there was a shortage.
And alligators.
There was a shortage of camels in Saudi Arabia back in the 60s.
Oh, okay. Is that how it started?
I don't know.
Would
I'm
they
just-
stumble upon a fucking
Camel
vein
has-
of camels in
Camels
Australia?
have always been a part of the traditional Muslim diet. Every year, hundreds of thousands of camels are slaughtered during the Muslim pilgrimage to Hajj in Mecca.
Mm.
Saudis
No.
traditionally import camels from North Africa, but various factors, including disease, drought, and political instability, led to look elsewhere.
Australia, apparently.
So, Australia camels were brought over from northern India in the 19th century.
Australian camels.
But they're for
Interesting.
food.
Australia
I'm sure
has
they-
a population of 500,000 camels. In some place, they are a nuisance. Why? Because I wonder why they're a nuisance. They don't seem like they do much. So some are
they're
used for
dicks.
leisure, but
No,
most
you
are
don't get to
slaughtered
speak
for
about
food.
camels.
Fresh hump today. That's what they have.
What?
Ew.
Fresh hump today. One of the largest
Oh.
camel consuming
Fresh
populations.
hump today. That's great.
Oh, I
Wow.
wish I did
Wednesday
not know
has a
that.
new meeting for that, huh? Poor
Well, I mean,
Camel
they're not-
Joe.
I mean, they're not cute animals. I mean, we
It
only,
doesn't
we only
matter.
feel sad for the cute animals that get
No,
eaten.
no, I feel
Guess
bad.
what their wholesale
I feel
price
bad.
is per pound?
Ugh, what is it?
$3.50 per pound.
Wow,
That's not-
Which
that's
is
not too bad.
expensive
Pretty-
compared to other traditional favorites like goat. It's
not bad for camel.
$1.20.
Yeah, you wouldn't.
Kevin's
yeah.
like Kevin's
How much-
talking like
yeah,
he's-
but I wonder how much horse is.
I don't know.
They don't say, and they say it tastes like home when they have it. And that's in-
Tastes like home.
yeah.
Oh,
That's what
homemade,
Somalis
like
say.
local.
It local. It
Yeah.
tastes like home.
Yeah, but what do other people say? Like it tastes like chicken. Like
I
chicken.
don't-
Everything is
Oh,
like
nope.
it tastes like
You-
chicken.
Nope, it doesn't. Camel meat tastes like beef, but it's quite a bit tougher. You've got to roast it and cook the hell out of it. Comparing
That's worse
to preparing
than trying
a
to
piece
eat
of
bear.
They're comparing it to beef brisket, but tougher. Damn.
I think
You
I would
must-
eat camel.
It's
I would try
just like
it.
trying to eat a
I would
bear.
try
with
camel.
its being
I
so
heard bear is
gristly.
bristly and
It is, and you got
It
to
is.
you really have to know how to cook
It
bear.
says here
I've
that-
had it twice, and I've had it really good one time, and then really bad
You got to
another
make it
time.
in a stew so it sits
Yeah.
and like
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely
everything like
stew. And
that.
I've eaten
That's what I
deer
had.
and stuff, so I could probably eat a camel. But it
I
just
would
makes
try
me
it.
sad now that I watched Graham ride one.
Cuts
Like,
of
as
camel
a
are no
pet.
different than steer.
Why
There's
not?
a tenderloin, a flank steak, a rump roast.
I
Much
had
of the rest
boar.
of the camel is used in the same way as
Yeah.
beef.
Oh yeah, boar is pretty
Yeah,
good.
as long as it's like corn fed and it's not
No,
like
this
wild.
was- no,
Yeah,
this
wild
was-
boar.
This was wild boar. My
Yeah,
brother
wild
shot a
boar.
wild boar and
You've
gave
never
me
eaten a wild boar?
I have.
gave me
You
like
don't
the
like it?
elbow. It was like,
Yeah.
and you got to we let it sit in a crock pot with sauerkraut and brown sugar and let it cook all day because it's very tough.
Oh yeah,
I mean-
I've had it like on,
Can
a,
I
like
ask?
on a
Can
grill
I
and
ask
it
why
was like,
sauerkraut? Just out of curiosity.
Because of the acid.
Well, no, I mean, it's up in we had this conversation before in Pennsylvania, where I'm from. Where I'm from, one of the delicacies and one of the things that that Pennsylvania Dutch eat is pork and sauerkraut.
Yeah. Okay.
So
I was just curious.
Yeah, so you know, like they even go so far as like you put sauerkraut on your hot dog, right?
Yeah.
They'll actually put a crock pot of sauerkraut and put hot dogs in, just let it simmer
Yeah.
all day.
yeah.
Yeah, I've
So
seen that.
we've done pork rumps, roast, and then boar. It's a pig. I put it in the crock pot with sauerkraut and
Okay.
you got to put brown sugar in sauerkraut to really cut the acidity and add some sweetness to it. It doesn't taste as, and you just
Yeah.
let it cook all day, but it's very tough meat.
Yeah, like I
They
said,
do
I've
eat
only
the
had it
hump
like
as
on a
well.
spit, and you pulling it off, and it's like wild boar is really tough. But,
It is tough.
Boars that are bred from babies on corn and they're kept in cages, it's a lot nicer of a meat.
Well, yes, but I
Yeah.
mean,
But I've never had it like that, like soaking in
yeah.
something that would make
I
sense.
mean, I
to
have
You
like
have
with like
to.
with
Stuff
pineapple,
shit,
like in almost like a stew type of thing
Yeah.
after it's been cooked.
And it's
It's
so
been,
gamey
really good.
too. You gotta really. I mean, you can
But
still
see-
get the flavor from it, but you really gotta add
my
like
former-
bear in a stew. Have to
It's
do
weird
it.
because I do like pheasant, and I'm not a huge like I don't really like gamey meat, but like I do like
I love
pheasant.
pheasant.
Pheasant
I've
is
never
so
had-
good.
Yeah.
So the final tidbit about eating a camel is you can eat the hump. It's a solid piece of white fat that provides, obviously we know it provides sustenance to the camel, but they only eat it when it's fresh, like if it's been slaughtered within a day. Otherwise, they just don't want it. They could only eat the hump fresh.
You must eat fresh hump.
Yeah, yeah. Nobody eats day-old hump. That's
No,
just
but going
That's
back to the boar,
disgusting.
Come
my
on.
former coworker gave us that piece of wild boar, and I used our rotisserie, and I have to say that was delicious. I wish it was bigger, because they hunt wild boar in South
That's right, I
Carolina.
forgot about
It was
that.
freaking good. I just wish we had a larger roast of it, because I just
My-
seasoned it,
my-
put on a rotisserie,
Right.
and let it go.
My favorite meat is just venison, like having it in the stew or cook like how you would, like you could bread it and fry it. I mean, you could put it in.
I just
you
like
could ground
jerky.
it
Jerky
it
is
up.
the best.
Jerky.
Oh, that's
Beef.
the best jerky.
Pickle.
beef.
Have you ever had pickled deer heart?
No.
Like from the heart of a deer, and they pickle it. Oh my god!
No, we've never been poor.
You don't
No,
have
no.
to be poor, and you never grew up that way. But it's so good.
Did you ever have deer hoof stew?
It's pickled, or they do it as a jerky, and it's so freaking
I'm gonna
good.
take your word for that.
It's so good.
A deer jerky is the best jerky I've had.
Deer jerky is so good, but I love when you get ground venison and like put it in like your spaghetti or what. Oh, it's
Have
so
you ever had
good.
Lebanon bologna?
No, I don't like
No.
bologna.
Well, you know how you have the bologna or bologna,
Yeah.
which is like
Yeah,
the
Yeah.
freaking
bologna.
pale color, right?
They sell it in
Yeah.
Publix.
Lebanon bologna is brown. It's more like a smoked salami type,
Oh, okay.
version, right? And that's what my hometown is known for, Lebanon bologna. And actually, David Letterman had, from the home office of it was actually from Lebanon because they sent him like a 10-foot Lebanon bologna. They make Lebanon bologna out of deer meat. And I got to
Oh,
tell you, that is
interesting.
freaking crazy off the hook. And what we do is you take it, we cut chunks, and then you freaking poke a stick in it. You just over a campfire and just char it up like that and eat it. There's nothing
now
better.
I want it. I
My
wanna try it.
grandfather, up until the last couple of years before he died, but every year would send us, and my dad still makes it occasionally, is a deer summer sausage,
Oh,
like a
That sounds
salami,
good.
like a real hard. Oh my god, it was just so good. I mean, that's
Yeah.
what we look forward to that every Christmas time, and 'cause they'd go out hunting, kill a couple
Mhm.
deer,
Yeah.
get the freezer for the winter time, and he'd make the summer sausage, and it was fantastic.
yeah. My old landlord in North Carolina, he would give me like some deer meat, and then he would give me ground deer meat, and like it would be frozen so I could use it whenever I wanted to. And then occasionally they would smoke, like make their own jerky and stuff, and he would give it to me. But when I was growing up, we always made our
Yeah.
own jerky and
Oh my god!
And
That's the
shared-
best.
shared the deer. Like we used to rent some of our property to let people go hunt, and then like they would give us some meat and stuff. So, so good.
Yeah, my
Yeah,
brother
ju-
got bear sausage. I had bear sausage before. which
I've
is
never
really
had
good.
that. Is
It's,
that that's
it's,
probably got
it's
to be
tasty,
interesting.
but you gotta it can get dry real quick, right?
Yeah.
Especially when you're
Yeah.
dealing with meats like that with not a lot of fat, you really
Yeah.
have to compensate for it. But the bear sausage was flavorful, but a little dry.
Huh.
Yeah,
Interesting.
Jeff Borschwitz up at the Corona farm. They have the Corona, the FSG beef now,
Right.
and you get now you're on a waiting list, and you can purchase I think a quarter, a half, and
Yeah,
a
I'll
full.
have one.
I mean, it's not a bad deal because it's like being part of a co-op. I mean,
Yeah.
when you purchase part of
So
the
they
cow,
have a farm with cattle.
Yeah, there's a lot of people
or-
do
Yeah.
that. You
Yeah,
buy
and
you buy a
actually,
cow
it's-
together.
Yeah, it actually makes more sense. Like
Yeah.
I've done it with cow, and I've also done it like where like people like go in and with chicken and stuff, and then
Yeah.
you get like pretty good, decent sized pieces and stuff, and it will last you for a while, especially if you know how to
Did your dad
cut
do
it
that?
properly and freeze it
the
properly.
chicken farm. There's
Yeah.
a chicken farm in Greenville, and it's
No, back home I thought that they used to buy like cows and
we have a
shit,
family
too.
friend who owns a farm in northern New Jersey,
Same thing. Yeah.
towards Pennsylvania. So, and it was a working farm, so everything basically gets slaughtered. And
Yeah.
we would go up and
Yes,
choose,
he used to get
Yes.
cows. Okay.
Yep, we would
Okay.
choose our pig and our cow, and
Yeah.
you would go in on someone on a half a pig, quarter, whatever.
Go ahead, Jess. I'm sorry. I just
Yeah.
did when you were talking about that. I remember I heard it from. I think it was her dad.
No, that's but it's I think it's just such a great concept. It really is. And like we've had a couple of our friends who go up to Arcadia, and they literally like will give you fresh everything there. They like slaughter stuff, and then they bring you whatever you're wanting to buy.
Well,
It's
in
just
the
a good
chicken farm,
concept.
the chicken farm in Greenville, we always see the tractor trailers with the poor chickens like smushed into their cages,
Yeah.
feathers everywhere. But when they like early COVID, they were selling like 40 and 50 pounds worth of chicken for like next to nothing. Just because they had an abundance of it. And you
Oh,
go,
God, I remember
the
that.
line was
Fucking
like
huge.
ridiculously long,
Yeah.
but we don't have the freezer space, so it was great. And I know there are farms around here where you can go and get whole half cows or pigs or whatever, but we just don't have the space for it.
Yeah, the nice thing though is like when I lived in North Carolina, I mean, so many people make jerky. You know, they just smoke their meats and stuff, and that like preserves it for a while. So yeah, it's not like where you're cooking it in a stew or anything, but it's still good to have. You know, it's substance through the winter. It's just old Appalachian like traditions,
Well, yeah.
and that's
I like
cool.
fresh meats though. Like I'll freeze stuff every now and then, but I love going
Yeah,
to the butcher and going and picking out exactly.
We're just
what I
pretty
want.
much like we rather have like fresh vegetables and all that stuff.
Yeah.
You know, it's just better. I just think everything tastes better when it's just you bought fresh, made fresh.
Well,
Yeah.
when you said about the Appalachians, it's true. It's the reason why they jerk beef, right? Because and they can their vegetables.
Yep.
And they jar everything because when the cold weather hits, they got to live off something.
Yeah.
Because they can go out hunting, but who wants to go out and freeze their ass
No,
off? when
they're
you're
not
doing that
going
stuff,
to. Yeah, right.
So
But-
you got a shit ton of freaking jerk, and canned veggies, and even fruits and stuff, and everything makes sense.
Have you ever had fermented meat?
I've had like jarred meat. Is that
like fermented. Like that's not the same. Have you, Kerr or Jen?
No, it sounds like it would smell horrific.
It does.
Like
okay.
fermented
And
fish.
people do that with fish, but they do it with meats. I can never get past the smell. Like maybe if I was starving and
I would starve
really
to
wanted,
death.
I don't know. Maybe if I was starving, I could probably eat it. But there are people who love that stuff, and I'm
my grandfather is
The
as a kid, I remember
so bad.
go and visit him and on family vacations, and he used to have pickled pig feet, and they'd be in these big jars. And then like the family's over, you'd unscrew the jar, and there'd be shit floating, and you had to part the fat, and then you had to get this big foot,
Yeah,
and,
fuck that.
and they've gnaw on it. Like,
I could eat most things, but the one
Yeah.
thing I've never and would never is pig's feet. It's
Yeah.
and there's some bars back home up at freaking that freaking have it sitting on the freaking bar. You know, it's
pickled eggs. Yeah,
it's the pickled eggs, the pickled sausage,
yeah.
and then some of them had pickled pig's feet, and I'm just like,
pickled pig
how
feet.
freaking many beers must you have to be like, I'll have another bud and a pickled feet.
Yeah, I mean, they walk around and poop all day. You can't get that clean. You can't get all the poop. You can't get the poop from everywhere.
I don't know.
I'm not
from
buying
the
it.
hoof, they're walking on it.
Yeah.
I got to tell you the truth. I've never had a pickled egg at a bar. I never had
Yeah.
pickled feet, but I've had the pickled sausage after.
Many beers.
Yeah, you're like, give me one of them sausages.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there thinking, I know hands have gone in that jar, but the freaking juices
Killed
probably
everything.
killed any bacteria that's
you
been in
know
there.
that acidic juice, whatever you
Like,
put, yeah.
just give
Has
me
anybody had cow tongue?
No.
I've
We've
had
had it in tacos.
I've had cow tongue and cow skull.
Yeah.
Oh,
That was
I've never had
delicious.
cow skull. That's interesting.
Oh.
It's inside the cheek, and
Oh.
it was so freaking
Like tender?
Oh,
Oh
yeah,
my gosh,
is
it's
that what they
tender.
call a head cheese?
I
don't
believe
think
so.
I don't know. I think head cheese is
But-
different. I'm gonna look That
Now, Mexican restaurant we go to, they do cow tongue tacos. They do the cow skull, the cheek.
Okay.
Before that, it was like 1994, 6 or something. I flew down to Harlingen, Texas, for a job interview with the Military Marine Academy. Now, it's the most southern tip of Texas. So if you throw a rock one way, you're hitting Mexico. If you throw a rock the other way, you're hitting the Padre Island.
Okay.
And everybody who works at this Marine Academy, and basically it's all retired Marines, and it's a school that they send a lot of troubled kids, right?
Okay.
And
like scared straight camps?
No, it's school.
Oh, it's a school.
It's a school, but it's like
wow.
you go here before instead of going to jail.
Gotcha.
Okay.
And
that
like
makes sense.
like when I'm walking across the compound, because I interviewed for a coaching job, they have kids running across the compound 100 yards with a bucket of water. I'm like, what's that? Like they got in trouble, so they got to plant a tree, and then every morning and every evening they got to water the tree, and they got to fill the bucket 100 yards away and run down and fill it. So. And you know, like in colleges, you have dormitories and a resident assistant. Their resident assistants are former drill instructors.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
God.
they're screwed.
How horrible is that?
They need more of those.
You know, we had a guy just used to get high and like sneak in freshman girls. They got freaking, you know,
A former drill.
hey,
sergeant.
pal, you know, they got the guy
they
for
got
Full Metal
gunny,
Jacket.
you
Yeah.
know? Yeah. What the fuck
But-
is going here, pile?
But
Believe it or not, they say drill sergeants are actually like the nicest people. They've had to be trained to be that way.
Yeah.
Like they don't usually start off being hard asses.
I worked with a guy who was a DI for a bit in the Marines, and he was a nice guy, but he was a little off. He was.
Yeah.
He was a little off. But all the workers were Mexican, and they had breakfast burritos, and their breakfast burritos were eggs and cow skull. But instead of just taking the cheek, what they would do is they would boil the skull with the meat on it, and they would just scrape all the meat off the skull,
Wow.
mix it with this sauce, and then put it in your burrito.
So I assume there's got to
Phenomenal.
be some brain in there, correct?
No, the
they
skull.
take-
No?
You gotta
it's
take the
just
brain out.
attached to- it's
So what
the
do they
muscle
do with the
attached.
brain?
The brain's out separately.
I don't
Go
know.
Do they
back
don't
to
eat
head
that?
cheese.
They don't eat that at all?
We didn't get in that conversation when I was ordering my
Oh.
breakfast burrito.
From,
Well, I'm just
from the
curious.
food truck. Yeah.
Listen, well, I'm just curious.
No,
Like,
I don't
do they-
know. I don't
whether
know
they
if
eat
brain's a
brain.
delicacy down there, but I know, like when we had the meat, it was from the cheek.
Yeah.
But they
Okay.
actually boil the whole skull and scrape all the meat off the skull because they waste nothing.
Yeah.
And then that's what they made the breakfast burritos out of. It was
Wow.
fantastic.
I doubt they eat the brain. 'Cause I know that the mad cow disease, like that's like a big thing on keeping that at bay
I
is
don't know.
not letting people eat the
Well,
brain.
head cheese, Kevin's right where it is
Yeah.
part meat of the skull, but they mix it in with gelatin and it actually gets
Oh.
sliced. It looks gross. Basically, it's pieces of meat suspended in gelatin, like a
Okay.
terrine.
Well, the gelatin is made from bone,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just looks so slimy.
But
and
yeah,
gross.
we've had the tongue
Yeah.
and
All right.
cheek, and it's really good. I mean,
It
it was
was.
fantastic.
yeah,
really good.
I think cow tongue is actually really, really good. But I've never had oxtail or anything
I've
like
had
that. People
I've
oxtail.
had oxtail.
yeah, is it good? I've heard
I
people
like
say
it.
it's really good.
We used to make the oxtail soup in the restaurant.
Yeah.
So yeah. And
Have you
it's-
ever had it?
It's salty.
Is it?
Yeah. It's like a thin. The way we used to make like a thin soup, almost like a broth. So.
I've
yeah,
had a couple of different dishes when I was working up in D.C. Because when you're working in D.C., it's like there's so many different ethnicities up there.
Oh yeah, I can only imagine.
Yeah.
I loved it. I thought it was. I mean, D.C. You could. I mean, I would never. It's expensive. It's all politics. It's a shit show.
Yeah.
But it's like every mile is a different ethnicity, and like I was in one area where it was like all Middle Eastern, and I had like Peruvian chicken and all these different kebabs and everything else and blah 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 blah. And then I go to the next one and I call this doctor. He could barely speak English. It's all Korean.
I
And then-
love Korean
and you
food.
get Korean food.
barbecue.
And it was, and that's what I think I said it before on the show. It was the first time I had Ethiopian food.
Yeah, you were
Yeah.
talking about that. I've never had Ethiopian food, but I can imagine
laxative
that it
city.
has a lot of similarities to some of like sort of maybe like Indian food a little bit. Like
I'm a little
But
I'm a little
not.
sketchy on foreign foods now because like in the past year they have like confiscated like what is it like 10,000 dogs being delivered to the U.S. that are destined for the food market, and it's like dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you got to think you don't really know what you're eating sometimes.
That's why I choose beef at an
It says
Applebee's.
that. It
At an
like says
Applebee's,
that.
you're not getting dog at Applebee's ever. I don't care. They're pretty
Watch
strict.
tomorrow. There's a huge news break. Applebee's.
Listen, like you said earlier, Kevin, you can you have an issue with eating an animal that's cute.
Yeah.
But
Poor Koopy.
but I gotta
being
tell you,
served all over the world.
well, it's one of the reasons why they didn't want to have the Olympics in Seoul, Korea, because
Yeah.
one of the meals that they have during their sporting events is like dog fries.
Yeah. I mean, to them
like
over there, I get that, but for me, like I can't eat horse and I cannot eat dog.
Horse, I would be fine with. I couldn't
Oh,
eat dog.
I cannot eat a horse.
I
I
could
guarantee
probably eat
you've
cat.
had dog. You've had cat.
I'm sure I have had cat.
You've
I
eaten
would
enough
eat
food.
cat.
You've all had
You've
cat.
had Chinese food. You've had
No.
cat. You've had
You don't
cat.
think so, Kevin?
Kevin
know
does
for
not.
a
He's
fact.
just gonna just
Does
never.
he not
think-
eat Chinese food?
No,
Fact.
he does.
Fact.
Bro.
What do you get when you? What's your staple?
Chicken.
In Chinese
Not
food?
cat.
But you don't
Chicken.
know that it's not cat.
I usually eat the same thing: kung pao shrimp, fried rice, no peanuts.
You don't. You eat General Tao's chicken too.
Sometimes I get
Anytime, and I think anytime you order any type of like breaded meat from the odds
Anything.
are high. And I'm sorry, but whenever you order any pork fried rice, that pork never looks like any pork I
No,
ever had.
it's
No,
not.
it
It
doesn't.
doesn't, do you?
That's why
Yeah,
I
you always
don't.
go
like,
hey,
freaking
we're
good.
just-
Like,
That's why I don't
How
order
the
pork
shit
fried
did that
rice.
get gray meat? And then why is it so
I-
freaking pink on the top? Oh, I'm
Oh.
sorry. That's where
Yeah.
the freaking cat fur came off.
That's our chunky cat right
That
there.
I only
That's our
usually
chunky.
order the vegetable fried rice if I
No,
can.
Yeah.
we
I
get pork
can
fried
manage.
rice.
I
I do
just
like
Go
it.
to
No.
PF Chang's. You don't have to worry about it. PF Chang's, Applebee's. No dog, no cat.
yeah. The PF Chang's around here, the few I've eaten, are just such garbage.
Yeah, Graham
They've gone
said that they
downhill.
went to go eat, and like two of the choices, one was like a chicken, and then the other one was like pork belly.
Beef belly.
Oh, beef belly. That's what
Beef
it is.
belly
Beef
sliders.
belly?
Beef belly
What?
sliders. I'd never heard of it.
I've heard of pork belly, but
Yeah, pork belly is what I thought it was, but it's not. It's
It's
beef
beef belly.
Beef belly.
Well,
I'm
it's
not
like
sure what
getting
that is.
ribs.
huh?
Yeah,
You
it
know,
looks
most,
good.
Most of the times,
it looks,
it's tough to find beef ribs.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
hard
it
to cook
looks
too.
delicious.
Are they?
Whatever he was going to eat.
They
He
can get
had two
very
choices.
tough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beef ribs are very tough.
I don't know if I've ever had beef ribs before.
I've had beef ribs before, and it's completely different. It is tough, but the best ribs I told you before. We had a restaurant back in Pennsylvania called Ribbit.
For
And-
froggies.
Ribs, right?
Oh, for ribs, not
Yeah.
for frogs.
They-
I was like, ribbit.
No,
Little
Have
Kermit.
you? But you've
And-
had frog before,
I've
right?
had frog's legs, yeah.
Yeah, I've had frog legs.
But their best ribs they had were lamb's ribs.
Oh, see, I don't.
I've never-
Lamb's
I've never-
ribs would be good.
I've never heard of that.
Bro,
Oh my
two
God.
things
I'm
that
not
were
a
great
fan
about
of
it.
lamb.
It had this Cajun seasoning on it that was fantastic. I mean, it was the best seasoning I've ever had, and they actually used because with lamb you're supposed to you use mints, right?
Yeah,
They
yeah,
had
yeah.
they
Jelly.
served it with mint barbecue sauce.
Oh, I bet
Oh, that might have been
that sounds
interesting.
delicious.
I'll tell you something.
That
I-
I would actually probably
It
try.
and the ribs are very fatty. They're very fatty. They almost look like the baby backs are smaller ribs, and they're
Yeah.
very fatty. But wow, best ribs ever.
You recently had lamb. We went to a new restaurant for us in Simpsonville, which is next
Oh my
town up
God,
from
that
us,
was great.
called Shortfields. And Kerr got a rack of lamb. Let me tell you, the way they roasted that, it was freaking
That shit
awesome.
melted in your mouth.
Holy mackerel.
Now I've
Oh.
I've had lamb before where it's decent, it's okay, but then there's been times where lamb is not.
It can be too
it-
gamey. I'll
yeah,
make
it's
barbecue
just not my
mint sauce
go-to
for him
meat.
when we do like a leg of lamb. Or
You did lamb
chops.
for Easter, I think, one
That's
year,
what you-
Yeah.
and
yeah.
it was like freaking.
Stuffed
butter.
it with garlic
Oh
and
my
rosemary, wrapped it overnight in olive oil,
My
and then just slow
stepmom's
roasted
always
it.
like, I can't. They're little lambs. I'm like, they're so cute and cuddly, and they're in
Yeah.
a box. They taste so freaking good.
Yeah, that's,
See, and that's why I don't have a problem eating veal. Like I know exactly where it comes
I
from.
love
Maybe as an
veal. It's just
adult
hard to
now,
get a
I
good piece
kind
of
of
it.
I pause, but it's so goddamn delicious. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
pause to
continue to
burp.
eat it.
I paused to eat some more.
I can't do it.
I
Really?
now
Why?
knowing as an adult of what it is, but when I was a kid, I ate the shit
No.
out of
So
veal.
what food won't you eat, Kevin?
Why not veal? Is it the
Yeah.
whole baby
Just
calf thing?
yeah, it's the whole I
So-
can't eat deer anymore.
So
either.
listen, my friend
Because
Dustin, his whole thing was
Bambi?
when
Yeah.
he decided to stop eating meat, it wasn't so much that it's because he was like, oh, it's the babies. It's really kind of how they slaughter meat. If anybody actually watches, like really how
Yeah.
it's quick and painless.
No, a lot of places still do it very inhumane. Okay,
Yeah.
like that was his main thing was, how can you eat these animals knowing that it's not done like at least humanely, right?
Well,
Well, how do you
torture
kill
'em?
something?
I mean, how do you kill something
like,
humanely
okay,
besides
so
either
I don't know. Do you
in
know
the
who
head
Temple,
or
do you
slicing
know
their
who
neck?
Temple Grandin is? Do you know who Temple Grandin is?
No.
Yes.
Okay, do you?
Yes.
You do?
Who is it?
Okay. She is
Let Jess
also
tell us.
he doesn't know. That's why. Anyway, there's a movie about her, but you can also Google her. And I actually went and saw 2 seminars that she put on. She has autism. She didn't start talking until she was like the age of 4. She has I think 4 degrees. Like she has a doctorate. She ended up going to a family's ranch, and she was watching how the cattle behaved in Texas, and she kept seeing how they were being killed, and how they are actual social animals. They're not okay, here's a cow and then here's a cow. They all kind of talk to each other and they congregate, and it was they were scared of shadows, and it was when they tense up, the meat is tense, right? So when you're pushing them all into an area to slaughter them, they all feel it. They're all communicating. So the meat's tougher. It's their unease, and it's unnecessary. So she built this contraption where they go around, and they kind of, it's almost like they don't know what's going to happen. And then they get killed, they get euthanized, or they get, the shot to the head, to the skull. But it was in a much more nicer, calmer way, the cows. So she invented the how they actually
In a
slaughter.
deceitful way.
They're smelling the flowers while they get one to the head.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
But it's a much calmer, much smoother run operation than how it was done before. And, and it helped with meat. She did all this she studied this for a long time, and she developed the first way of how they properly now.
I wonder if that's Kobe beef, because what are they? Kobe beef, they freaking wine and dine and massage them with milk and beers, baths, and then just one day while they're getting a milk bath, they get a freaking.
The marble is just
Hold of the
insane
brain.
in the meat, though. You wonder it's just
Kobe
crazy.
Kobe and Wagyu, which is. And they say there's only in the U.S. 6 places that you can get real Wagyu A5 beef, and 2 of the most knocked off terms just to get more money out of you.
Mm-hmm.
It's Kobe.
But
and
there's
Wagyu.
people who have issue with free range type of animals. There's people who have issues with farms that's all they do is breed for so it's I don't think you can please everyone, but I liked her concept of if you're going to do this and it's a necessity, and I get it, we need this, at least let's do it in a proper, better, more efficient way. She saved them millions of dollars of how they were doing it before. And it's just insane what she developed. And it's this wraparound, and they kind of walk, and then sounds when the handlers were hitting the sides, it would startle the cows and stuff. So this basically gives them no chance to be startled. They go in peacefully, go in willingly, they follow each other, and it's boom, 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 and then it's very quick and it's efficient. And
yeah, but if you're a cow behind and you're like, yeah, Bob, this is a really nice circular thing going on. Bob, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I don't think they have time for that.
Okay.
But it's interesting if you're actually curious about it. Temple Grandin, she's an amazing person. She's a huge advocate for people with autism, but she is freaking incredible. Just an inspirational woman, really, for what she's overcome in her life and what she's developed. It's pretty freaking cool.
Well,
Anyway.
it is interesting though. And I know I goof being a dick, but the whole concept of them tensing up before they die, if that has an impact on the meat, because even when you cook it, Kevin seems skeptical. He's like, they die, whether they're panicked or not.
I mean, I understand. Like, you know, your body will release. You know,
They say all kinds of toxins,
you know,
like fear changes things.
But like I said, by the time that but they're scared and then they get killed, I'm eating the ass anyways. That stuff can't. How can it really make it all the way to the ass before it toughens it up? So, Kerr's getting the jaw meat. So that's what tenses up first.
It helps our tacos.
She clearly has done the science behind it.
I've seen lots of things on her.
Oh, have you? So why are you doubting?
I just doubt. You know, I don't know.
Because Kevin didn't think of it.
It's a big animal. You can't get the endorphins to the ass by time.
You have no idea.
Kevin, you never had a freaking cow cheek burrito till you've had a fear cow cheek burrito.
Oh my god.
Fear is what makes.
Let me tell you something. It's spicy, buddy. It's spicy.
Yeah.
And it also came down to how do you humanely kill an animal?
Yeah, that's
Yeah. I mean, it's past the days where a farmer just went out there and was like.
Well, there's still, yoke them up by their hind legs, slit their throat, move them down the assembly line while they'll let them bleed out miserably. That sucks.
Yeah, and there's places that
still do that. They actually stick their head in the machine. That the machine clamps them, lifts their head up. Yeah. The machine goes across, slices them. They bleed out, and then they go.
Yeah. Do they use the blood for something?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm sure they can.
Back into animal feed.
Okay, I was just curious.
Yeah,
I mean,
every part of the cow that doesn't get used gets ground up and fed to other cows.
Or pigs.
But they can't use the brain.
What about pigs? Pigs eat everything, right?
I don't know. Cows eat everything too from other animals.
Pigs eat everything. You ever see the old? You see the old movies. Never trust a man. Never trust a gangster who owns a pig farm.
Snatch.
Yeah.
Snatch. Yeah.
It was in.
They freaking eat everything. All they'll do is just shit out your teeth.
Well, we just went
jewelry out of. I sent you that link.
Yeah.
You can get jewelry made out of your
That's
teeth.
Fucking sick.
That's so gross. We just went to Texas.
That's like Ed Gain shit.
Yeah. Well, here in Sarasota is the world's largest. They make the man-made diamonds, so you can take your loved one's ashes and they'll actually make you a diamond out of your loved one's ashes.
Interesting. I know. We just went to Texas de Brazil. That was an experience.
How was it? We've been
to
Brazilian restaurants. That's where I ate chicken heart for the first time.
There's so much meat. Oh, well, they didn't offer...
This is like a buffet.
They didn't offer us any chicken heart. There's like a buffet, and then they come around with the meat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
yeah. I think all Brazilian places have the buffet. Yeah, they have a buffet, and then they have like kind of some non-Brazilian food for those, but it's a buffet of like all sides. And then they just walk around with
They walk
around and just promote gout.
Yeah. There was no menu. They didn't give us a menu. They were like, put your card.
The place
green and red. That's all you know.
Green and red. And so like, they come fast too.
Yeah.
And they're like,
do you have a thing on your table with colors?
Yeah, just like green and red.
Yeah.
Yeah, the green
and
red.
The one in Greenville closed, Toscano's.
Yeah.
Oh my God, though. It was like, it's almost like you feel pressured into eating, but we were like, the red car, I think the red stayed for a good.
Yeah.
We kind of knew what we would like and what we wouldn't
They
like.
made their money off of us, but then other people they lost money on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you don't make money on me at a Brazilian restaurant.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
No.
But it was definitely an experience, and it was like interesting.
Mine was they had
there
like
was
these little
sausage. Oh my God, that was so good. Their Brazilian sausage was so freaking good. But their filet mignon, their flank steak, I'm sorry, it was not very good. I did not try the lamb, neither did you, or we didn't try any of the ribs. We were so full by the time that stuff came around. I was like, no. But they had this awesome like olive oil with some spices in it. I don't even know what kind, and you dip the meat in that, and that was fucking good. Kevin had already tapped out by then, and I was like, just try it. And he's like, I can't. I was like, it's so freaking good. But yeah, their filet mignon was it was
and then
good.
I blew his mind with my drink.
the
So
drink's
we ordered
delicious.
their signature drink, which is like this really high end rum, but it's a dirty rum.
And you could get 3 different flavors.
Yeah.
It was strawberry, coconut, or mango.
So so and they mix it, and it's just like muddled sugar and lime, and then just a shit ton of rum, and then whatever flavoring in it. And it's strong. I mean, it's the moonshine of rum. It's
good.
Fucking strong. And so drank the first one, like, not a problem. Comes back around, do you want another one? I'm like, just give me a Bacardi and diet. It's like, oh, we're out of Bacardi.
Yeah. No, we're not out. They don't carry.
Or they don't carry.
What? They don't carry
And I'm like,
Bacardi.
what? I go, what kind of rum do you have? So he went and checked.
Every rum but Bacardi.
Yeah, I know. They had, whatever, Sailor Jerry, they had Captain Morgan's. And then so I'm like, how do you have all this and not have Bacardi? I'm like, that's some bullshit. Especially a Brazilian place, whatever. So now I'm like, hey, whatever rum that was in that drink, just bring me that with some Diet Coke. And he's like, wait, what?
No. He was like,
and he kept
Roberto was his name.
he's like, no. And I'm like, yeah, just bring me that. So he goes and he brings me just the rum on rocks. He goes, I want you to try this first. So I tried it, and I'm like, it'll be better with some Diet Coke and a lime. So he brings it back full of Diet Coke, and he's just staring at me. So I just rolling around drinking. I'm like,
mind you, I try it too, and it's freaking delicious.
Yeah, it's delicious.
Like,
So
it was
so
good.
And then I squeezed the lime in there, mix it around. I go, this is perfect. He goes, nobody's ever ordered that before. I go,
no, but now he's gonna recommend it to people.
it was
you
good,
know,
but
just to try.
But that rum, like 30 hours later, that rum was on my palate still. Like I burped the next evening, and I'm like, I can taste that rum.
Mind
still.
you, I ended up getting coffee, and I ate their banana to have like a palate cleanser. I had no issues. Kevin did not do that. He did not listen to me, and he's like, that's all I taste. This rum.
That rum
this
was,
rum. It's ruining my life.
Now, did he look at you because that rum should be served in a specific way?
Yes.
And just was
yes.
Like
yes.
and he felt it was too strong to be with Diet Coke.
Like you were ruining it.
Or did he think that this is too high end to be mixed with just Diet Coke?
He came back with a glass, probably that big, and it was filled with
probably
the
had
rum.
4 ounces
and I
of
said
rum
to
in
Kevin,
it.
I go, Kevin, you realize he's coming back and he's only spritzing the diet on there. He's not even trying to give you just a shot of that. Like, he's giving you this much rum, and that's exactly what he did. He came back with the same glass.
So where was this place?
This was in Tampa.
Right next door to Davidoff of Geneva.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Brazilian restaurants are good, man.
Yeah, it was fun. It was definitely something that I think everybody should experience.
Yeah, and then right around Davidoff there, you have Cooper Hawk's Landing, which is a winery and a restaurant. You've got like Prime, which is like a steakhouse.
Yeah, they had plenty of wine to choose
from. So
from.
so if you're at Davidoff, you're within 30 to 45 seconds of 6 of like the highest, but that's where that's at in Tampa. It's across the street from the stadium.
So how far are you from Tampa?
About an hour and a half.
Hour and a half.
How far are we from Tampa?
8 hours.
Oh, that's
8.5. Because remember, I told Joe when they said you guys were in Tampa. I'm like, Joe, you want to go to Tampa this weekend?
Yeah, I had to work Friday, but Joe and Kerr were available.
We were gonna. As he's like, yeah, I'll go down. I was in Tampa once, and it was right after the big cigar event, and I showed up like right when it was closing up, and I was like, that's what I met Joe Genovese. And then
So where we were at is only like 10 minutes from Ybor City.
Right.
So where you were at. Yeah.
Right. So I start walking around, and that's when I met Bobby Brown. Yep. And such a great guy. We were just hanging out. We exchanged cigars. And then I decided to drive around a little bit because they were all like, we're going here, we're going there. And I was up for it. And so I'm driving around. I was checking out the area. I went back to the hotel. And I laid in bed. I just crashed because I was in a car forever that day. It was bad traffic.
I can only imagine.
And then the next day I had to get up, work with the girl who was working for me. I had to work with her all day, and then drive from there to Miami.
Yeah, Hollywood. You had to go to.
Oh yeah, that's right. You were.
Yeah, with the Hollywood. Yeah, that's
because
what
I
it was.
flew into. I met him down there. I flew into Miami, and then took.
And we had. I'll tell you
Hollywood.
what. We had a great time.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed Hollywood.
It was beautiful.
They had a couple of really nice cigar places.
That freaking Puerto Rican restaurant was awesome.
The Puerto Rican restaurant was great. I hung out with Benigno.
Yep.
back when he used to be with Kerr Burger.
Okay.
And went to the cigar shop there and just hung out. Just had a blast. It was such a great place. It really was.
Drive
Yeah,
back.
it's
We
so
Even the
hit
hotel we
everything.
stayed at.
The hotel was
Oh my
perfect.
God, it was
my
right
God.
on the
food,
water.
The coffee, everything was
Oh
great.
my God, it was great.
Right on the beach.
the beach.
Yeah, we when we went to Miami and met up with Craig and stuff, we went to that really good restaurant. I had some really good Cuban food.
Yeah.
It was so good.
Yeah, I
Cuban
love
coffee.
Cuban food.
So good.
Yeah, that's why in Ybor I always go to the Columbia. Great Cuban.
You know,
food.
I mean, because you like the sandwich. I'm
Yeah.
not. I thought their food was okay, but he
Yeah.
wouldn't eat any caviar, not escargot. No, it wasn't escargot. What was it?
It was a squid.
The squid. The
Ceviche?
shit.
No.
No,
The
it's kind
fried
of like.
squid tentacles.
Oh my God, my
the,
brain is
Calamari?
hurting. Calamari. He
Calamari.
wouldn't eat any
That's
calamari.
disgusting.
That's the
And
best
me
stuff, man.
and our friend and
It's
his friend
not.
Aaron, we're like
It's
Aaron and I are
not.
like, just eat it. And he's like, no. And Aaron and I mean, it's like it's little octopuses, like octopi, like
Octopi.
there, like squid, and like Kevin's like, no, like
Those are the
just,
best ones because you get the you just
so
get
good.
like the round like
No, it
cartilage,
was, like,
and then you
everything.
get the little purple ones that you can see the tentacles and the little suction
Good.
cups on them.
Yeah, that was what we got. It was
Yeah.
so good. It
Yeah,
was
those
so
are the
good.
best.
Kevin would not even eat that. So they had that going for them.
Yeah.
I'll say that. They're Cuban sandwiches though. I don't like Cuban sandwiches, so
I like a good pressed Cuban.
yeah.
I'll tell you, there's a great Cuban restaurant that's down in Greenwood. So whenever I go down to Tobacco Case, I always go down. Two great restaurants. There's a Cuban restaurant, and then there is what's the other restaurant down there that
There's soul food.
soul food restaurant. I mean, literally within walking distance. So
The
I just
Cuban
grab
place is awesome.
cigars. I go down. I have my Cuban food. I have my lunch right there. Smoke a cigar right on the side, and they always encourage it because then people will walk by and go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very dramatic.
I'm like, listen, sweetheart, we're outside. I doubt you're smelling my cigar.
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
But the
They're
people who
not.
own the restaurant encourage it because that's a sign of good luck and fortune when someone smokes a cigar at your restaurant.
Oh, really?
Oh, that's
Yeah.
awesome. I
I didn't
love
know
that.
that.
I love.
Kevin,
well,
we took you there.
Our,
Oh yeah, we took Kevin
We took
there.
Kevin
Oh,
down
oh,
there.
oh, that's
that
the
was
place.
where the
Okay.
Cuban
That's
place
right.
was
I
located.
forgot about that. We went there.
yeah,
Okay.
our waiter Roberto, he's from Cuba,
Yeah.
and he
I forgot we went there.
he was just really sweet guy. He was like, but he was like very
Whoever wasn't
engaging.
bad.
It was
That's
nice.
Yeah.
It was nice, like that he
Did his job.
did his job, but not even just that. Like he talked to us and but he was like so in like just like looking at Kevin like, are you sure? Like,
Yeah.
do you really want to do this? It was funny.
Yeah.
So, and Kerr, speaking of cigars, how was your journey? How many? Tell us about your journey. How many cigar
we
shops?
had a
did you
great
go to?
time, and you know what? I felt bad. I felt like my one of my missions were foiled.
And it's all your
So-
fault.
So Daryl and I met, and we really didn't have a plan, right? So we hit 4 shops. We started at Boda's down the street from me, and he had never been to Boiling Springs Tobacco and Wine. And the guy, the owner, Kartik Shaw, is one of the nicest guys you ever want to meet. And this guy,
I didn't know that was the name of his shop, Boiling Springs.
Boiling Springs, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Now, Kevin, I had taken you to Tobacco Plus with their humidor, how big it was.
Yep.
So imagine a humidor that size, maybe a little bit smaller, but with like 50% more cigars.
It's too overwhelming.
Kartik really knows.
Yeah.
I have never seen Daryl. You commented on his picture.
Yeah, yeah.
He was in heaven.
We walked in, and Daryl, and I'm talking to Kartik, and Daryl walks in. He takes like 5 steps, and he's just standing there. And I walk in. I go, "What's up, man?" He goes, "Oh my Lord, this is amazing." I mean, just everything and anything you can imagine
That's
in
awesome.
this cigar shop. And then I start talking to Kartik because he's got his private stuff, and it's in the open. I'm like, "Kartik, are you willing to part with any of your private stuff?" He's like, "Well, I've had them for years, but yeah, sure." So he opens up.
So I'm sorry to interrupt. He keeps his private stuff in the open where people can touch and.
He has a humidor, right? that's locked. That's his stuff.
Okay.
And then he has a
gotcha.
shelf of stuff as well. That's
Yeah.
you know, and I'm like, I you know what? For the life of me, I swear to God, there's a cigar club that I think Caldwell made their cigar for him. There's a cigar group on Facebook.
Yeah.
And Kartik brought him in, and I smoked one. It was freaking awesome. I gotta ask him which one it was. And then you saw the real long cigar he had given me.
Yeah. That call. Yeah.
Yeah, the Caldwell, and so he opens up his cabinet, and there's like stacks of Saka stuff with Saka's autograph on it.
Oh,
There's
how cool.
boxes of Drew Estate stuff with Jonathan Drew's autograph on it. And then I got the was it
Jane.
the Sweet Jane? Like I didn't know if you had that, and I took a picture.
Yeah.
like,
The Type A. Yeah.
and you're like,
Yeah,
yeah,
the Type
Jennifer,
A.
Jessica and I have this. I'm like, shit, because I was gonna
We have
send it.
never
That.
smoked it. It's still.
No, we smoked those.
Oh, we did
Yeah,
smoke
we-
those.
we- yeah, we-
it was
yeah.
the other, the Medusa one. We haven't
Yeah, the
smoked.
Medusa we haven't smoked.
We
and
have it. We just
and then
haven't smoked it.
the manifestos from
Yeah.
the Saka era. So
Yeah.
I've got
Yeah,
some, like-
he's just got this. I mean, I told you he pulled out a Calibra. That was the
Yeah, did you say Caldwell Calibra?
it was a Caldwell,
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
and it had the band with the crown on it. Was it the Long Live the King?
Long Live the King.
Long
yeah.
Live the King band on it. And he's like this. He goes, I only have one left. These are like events. You know, they come here, and then you're sitting next to the roller, and you're like, hey, can you make this? And he just makes it for me real quick. And I'm just like, you only have one left. You want to part with it? He's like, oh, no. He puts it back in. He starts pulling out Cubans from 2015, 2016.
Gosh.
I mean, it's real Cubans. It's not like fake shit because he's got buddies in Canada. But I mean, Daryl, I took 2 pictures of together. He was from ear to ear, man.
He was a Cheshire
just
grin. He was happy.
100% smiling. And he looks at me, and goes, "My plan was to buy a cigar at every shop we stopped at, and this has screwed everything up."
Now,
I
what is
bet.
it like Kartik? Like what is that like the nationality on the name?
He's Indian.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Kartik Shaw.
Okay.
And I mean, just this humidor. He's got all brand stuff. He's the typical name. He's got Lars. He had Lars stuff in there. He's got tons of different boutiques. That's where I had Sinistro for the first time. I bought one of their Candelas. when I
Oh,
was
okay.
there. He's got the yellow cake, and he knows all the information, the story behind everything. Everything.
That makes it even more like
Yeah.
just that's awesome.
And
I love that.
That impressed Daryl the most. Is he's like, he not only has everything, but he knows the story. He knows everybody. He's got Matt Booth sends him a blend for his shop. He's got one from Viajante. Just on his shelf of things, there's Viajante barber poles. I mean, just all sorts of stuff that you probably. It's so tough to find, or you can't find it anywhere.
Yeah.
He has a little lounge area, not very big, and he has beers in the refrigerator he sells. And Daryl was like, I think if we had gotten a beer, I think we could have just stayed there the whole day.
Yeah.
If it was closer, that'd be your.
But
choice.
that's what he said. He's like, man, he goes, if this place was closer. I mean, it's about a 35-minute drive. But just a great time. And then we went down to Sir Tom's, which is a shopping in Spartanburg, and Kartik's part owner there. We went through their humidor again. It's like after you've been to Kartik's place, it's like I've seen all these before.
Yeah.
But we talked to one of the guys, just great people, great little lounge area. From there, we went to Cameroon and Greer. And we've gone to Cameroon before, and I got to tell you, when you guys come up, it is just Greer is a small town outside of Greenville, and it's really growing. It's been growing, and they really fixed up the downtown beautiful with all the brick roads.
Cobblestone
All
street.
brick. It's
Our
cobblestone.
favorite restaurant used to be across the street from
They,
Cameroon.
they still have a restaurant there though.
Yeah, it's a different one.
But there's restaurants, and then Cameroon is a cigar bar. And it is, you walk in, it's one of those old school
Tin ceilings.
row homes, the row buildings.
Yeah.
all
I
exposed
love
brick
that.
walls, tin ceilings. They just redid their humidor, leather couches, leather chairs, bar, full bar. And Daryl and I just grabbed a couple cigars and sat down and had a couple of beers and just relaxed. It's a great place. It really is. And then from there we went back to Boda. So we had a nice day. I mean, we probably could have hit a couple more places, but I wanted to come home and have dinner and stuff. But tomorrow we're going to go out again and hit a couple of local places in Simpsonville.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And, kind of do like a mini version of that. I really wanted to take Daryl to Kardic's place. Just because when you go there, man, it's like, if you leave there with nothing, it's because you don't know shit. I mean, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
If Kevin, you know, it was like we went into Tobacco Plus. I mean,
Oh yeah.
he has some old stuff in there. You guys come up, we go to Kardic's place. It's like, okay, here's the deal. We're going to go to Boiling Springs. There's a couple good restaurants around the area too. I mean, I whenever I go to Kardic's, there's a Vietnamese place I always go to. Just you could spend a day there, and Kardic's just a great guy. He's we hang out and smoke cigars. Every time I go up there, I always just hang out and smoke cigars. He's been a big supporter of Stogie Road cigars.
Nice.
I mean, he's really has not only he's well known in the area, but he's also well known nationwide and outside the country because he does ship his cigars everywhere.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's awesome, though.
Yeah, but it was a great time. Daryl and I had a blast. We just the shops we stopped at were perfect for the day. The weather was perfect. And tomorrow we're gonna hit some place in Simpsonville, and go from there.
Awesome.
So now, all the places you stopped at, are they going to be carrying your cigars again? A little bit of a business trip too?
Oh yeah, definitely business trip.
Yeah.
On top of it, every place we stopped at carries my stuff except for Cameroon. I've never talked to the owner about carrying my stuff because when I first launched here in Greenville, I just told everybody, if you bring my stuff in, I wanted to cover every county and have at least one shop. So I wanted to make sure that I had respect for that, shop if you're carrying it, But, now with the new stuff coming out and my new plan, not only, going back to the shops that used to carry my stuff, but also really focused more on this tri-state area of North Carolina, South Carolina, and Georgia. Mm-hmm. Really trying to get in as many shops as we can. So, and Kardic's, the first time I brought my stuff to Kardik, he's like, yeah, bring up like 20 boxes. I'm like, okay. So I show up, I got 20 boxes, 10 count boxes. He's like, can you sign a few? I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll sign a few. He's taking pictures. I leave, I get home, I get a message as soon as I pull in the driveway. Hey, I'm out. I need more. That's
awesome.
How fast he sells them. And, he's the kind of guy that will move stuff so fast. Not only in his shop, but outside.
Yeah.
Well, it also makes you, because like you say, he's so knowledgeable and he has all these, like stories and he knows what he's talking about. People trust him, and that's like an amazing thing, though. And he's not going to steer someone wrong. It sounds like.
No, he's well trusted.
Your new factory with Chris. It's Chris, right?
Yeah. Chris.
Yeah. Now does he use brokers? Does he have how does he get his cigars out?
Hold on one second. Lighting a cigar.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, he's on the screen.
I was lighting a cigar until you guys made me fucking laugh.
Yeah.
He's using matches.
I can't find my lighter. I have no idea what the hell happened to it.
I saw it recently. I can't
We were
remember.
lighting fireworks with it last night.
Yeah.
It may be in the kitchen. I think I saw it on the kitchen counter. So he's using the old trick of multiple matchsticks together.
Hey, whatever works. Fire's fire.
Chris does have. He does ship them from Nicaragua to Miami, and he does have a connection in Miami, and then they're shipped from their factory. A lot of these guys, these smaller, mid-size and it's kind of funny as I'm learning this, a lot of smaller to mid-size cigar companies and businesses, they help each other out. Like truly help each other out. They just don't say they help each other out and then act like a douchebag.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing on the backside for them.
No, and it's they're all looking out for one another and helping each other out. So
that's how it should be.
And he does have a bonded facility up in Philadelphia as well.
Yeah,
which is really nice. So if you bring your stuff in, you don't have to pay S-chip up front.
Yeah.
You only pay it as it's released from the bonded factory. So he's also working on a few things right now where he's trying to become independent and not have to have that kind of middleman.
Okay, I didn't know if he had brokers going to lounges or shops selling his cigars.
Reps.
Yeah, like reps or brokers. That's what I meant by broker.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, he's got a couple of folks that rep his stuff. He's had some folks that rep his stuff.
But they're independents. They don't work for
independents,
him. Yeah. Okay. So okay. So I didn't know like if maybe they would help you get your stuff out since they're already
Well, yeah. He and I talked about some of the folks who work with him that it makes sense to carry the factory line. Like someone who truly has someone carry a factory line,
Yeah.
But it is, it's a little bit different when you are a smaller company versus like AJ, who has AJ reps, or
in-house. They're on payroll.
Yeah, they're on payroll, so all 9 yards. These guys are folks are usually commission based only, but there are some moves being made. As the factory's growing and as the portfolio's growing, is to get folks to rep, and if there's any brokers, most definitely have them work to help out, because I would be more than happy to have a broker, like someone who's really a well-connected, knowledgeable broker, to get our brand in like Florida or Georgia, if that's their market or their area.
Yeah.
The problem is that you have too many people that they take the whole cigar influencer title to the next level of like someone like yourself. You are an influencer, right? But you have numbers and you have facts to back that title,
right?
And you also have folks who are paying you money or whatever to be sponsors of your show, because they see a return on investment. There's an ROI there.
Yeah.
Where there's folks that are like, yeah, I'm a cigar influencer, send me a couple of boxes of cigars, and they'll take some pictures and tag you, but all they want are free cigars.
Yeah.
You're not influencers.
Absolutely.
You're a freaking, you're a pariah is what you are. Is bottom feeders just trying to get free cigars, from people to claim that you're a broker, or what the hell is the new term that's being used now? McAuliffe's really used
ambassadors.
Yeah. I'm an ambassador. And you know what? I think that concept's smart in a way where if you're like, I'd love to have 30 people in 30 different cigar shops that are friends with their cigar shop owner that can get my stuff in and call themselves an ambassador.
And I agree with that, and like I was like Kevin and I talk about this a lot. I buy a lot of my own cigars, and I'm a cigar smoker, so I'm gonna say, hey, this is what I'm smoking and stuff. I mean, if people want to think I get stuff sent to me that way, that's fine. That's their prerogative. But I have like receipts to show like I've paid for all these cigars.
I want to see those receipts, please.
Like I'm a huge Ezra Zion, like he's expensive. Like those cigars are expensive.
And I'm gonna give Ezra Zion this year, and then
for what?
No,
I want to smoke their cigars. I'm going to continue to purchase their cigars because I enjoy them.
Ezra Zion needs to step up to the plate.
Yeah, no, Kevin is so ridiculous.
He's basically saying, look, you're promoting, you're buying, and
I'm a cigar smoker.
Well, only because people have commented on your photos like, hey, I signed up for the cigar, Ezra, because of you.
They have.
When you get 20, 30, 40 people saying that,
they have. Yeah.
You should not be paying for your cigar of the month club. No.
Okay.
How many followers do you have, Jess, on Instagram?
I'm almost at 6,000.
Yeah, when you have 6,000 followers on Instagram,
took me a long time to get there.
And like Kevin said, when you have people that are commenting, and it's like, okay, listen, and I feel like a hypocrite because I've never done this, and I've never said, hey, I've gotten your cigar here and there, give me free shit,
right?
But you're sitting next to the guy who's like freaking. I've always had a great deal of respect for Kevin because I really think he's a very smart businessman in his industry.
He is,
and knows how to still be genuine, still be true to your word, and not promote just a shit brand because you're getting paid, but get compensated for the work and the influence that you're providing because they're gonna ride, and you know what? You're never gonna get a phone call that's gonna be like, listen, Jess, you're doing a great job. We really want to send you some free shit.
I get that, and here's my whole thing though is that Kevin and I together as Cigar Prop, and what we do is one thing, and then me as Jessica, what I do for me is separate because we're not the same person, right? Like what he does as Kevin and what I do as Jessica is totally different than Cigar Prop, right? I mean, that's how I look at it.
Yeah. What do you mean what you do?
Like, meaning, like, I'm still a cigar smoker.
On her influencer side,
what I'm choosing to do is separate than what we do for Cigar Prop. And yeah, sometimes it does.
It's the umbrella. You all operate.
There is an umbrella. There is, and I'm not disputing that. But I also, made it a point that's like, I never will ever pigeonhole myself to a particular company because I like too many different cigars.
Well, and I don't want to. That's the beauty of the position you and Kevin are in. You don't have to pigeonhole yourself.
Right, we don't. We choose not to. We made it that way in the beginning because that was one of the things that we talked about was there's no way that we were going to get saddled with really being told, like, this is only what you can do. Yeah. I was like, it wouldn't be right. Then what's the point of being a cigar smoker?
There are influencers out there and social media personalities. That's all they do. They're fixated on like 2 brands, and then and that's it. And then I don't reach out to people like, hey, I don't reach out to companies like, hey, we smoke a lot of your cigars, give them to us free. Mm-hmm. I've only done that with one manufacturer because I know they love us. They love Jessica, and so when she was getting low on this certain cigar, I reached out and I go, hey, Jessica's only has like 2 of these cigars left, and I left it at that. And the next thing you know, we get this beautiful ashtray and we get cigars in the mail. Because she does,
But I smoke that cigar.
You smoke it, you promote it.
But it's a cigar that I love, and I would continue to smoke it.
So that's the only cigar I ever do that. Yeah. All the rest of them, like I said, people reach out to us after we smoke them, like Abe, his Cigar of the Month Club. And Abe said this live once when someone kind of attacked me a little bit, months ago. Like, you know what? Out of all of the social media guys out there, Kevin is the only one that bought his Cigar of the Month Club. Like he signed up for it, and I paid for several months just because I wanted to see what it was all about. Right. And I just did. I did my own videos, and then Abe reached out and he goes, "You're not paying anymore."
Yeah, but you want to know something?
Yours is no charge.
I will say from up to 5 years now, right? So I've watched Kevin try all these different cigar clubs. I've watched Kevin trade cigars, do stuff like through the cigar community. I do it too. Like I trade cigars. I just send cigars to people. Shit, I buy cigars, or if somebody says, oh, I'm interested. We send so much cigars, even if we get them for free or if we pay for them. We give so much stuff away because I love the cigar community. Yeah. Like that's where I'm really more about. And then I get it. Like some people who are influencing, I'm not judging them. They got to do whatever they have to do to provide for their family. That's cool. Like you continue to do that. I genuinely feel like I have to be myself. I have to be real. I cannot pretend to be something that I'm not. It doesn't sit well with me. Me as a person.
But I'm cool with someone who says, you know what, I am going to be a influencer.
Right.
And I'm only going to promote brand X.
Right.
Yeah, there's nothing
And
wrong with
brand
that.
X says to me, I don't want you promoting anybody else. And they're like, oh, if that's what their agreement is, then hey, have at it.
Right.
You know, actually a buddy of mine worked for a company, and one of the things when he no longer worked with this company anymore is you're selling a brand, but all your freaking pictures on social media are other brands.
Right.
You know, you are an employee now of this company.
Yep.
Don't be fucking stupid.
Yeah.
You know, this is what you have to do. And
Right.
I know when I started, I've never the one thing, and even now with my brand, the only one I have to answer to is all my freaking logos, as Kevin likes to make fun of.
Yeah.
You know, but you know, when I promote or I support a brand or someone, it's because they're a friend, because
Right.
but more importantly, because they have a great cigar, like Amendola, great dude, Chris,
They are
great
just
freaking
Chris
guy.
And Jeffrey.
I mean, they're great guys, great cigars, man. Their new stuff, the stuff now that that's being made at Agonor Salif and Espinosa,
Game changing,
dude.
Game changing.
His Padrinos made at AJ's place, forget about it. I mean, I just had the cannolis. Chris sent me some cannolis, right?
So good.
Fantastic. I carried his core line. We sold them online.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. Oscar Rodriguez from GTO Cigars.
Yeah.
Another great guy. Makes a great cigar. For years, I promote the shit out of Paul Gamarian. I've only met him a couple of times. He doesn't know who the hell I am. He makes a great effing cigar. So if like you said, I when someone says to me, "What's one of the best cigars you ever had?" I'm like, "Freaking Paul Gamarian Gourmet Series #1." Get it. Go to freaking McLean, Virginia. Roll into that place and get a freaking Lancero that was rolled in 1992, and then get yourself a freaking Paul Gamarian Gourmet Series, and you're going to be in heaven.
Yep.
You know, but you become known for that. That's what you're known for, and that's what, luckily, knock on wood, that's what we've become known for is throughout the industry of we smoke everything. Yeah, we do have our sponsors, our partners, whatever you want to call them. So we are beholden a little bit to what they want, but that's how we can get so many partnerships and so many cigars because they know it's like, okay, Kevin and Jess, they're not beholden to one company, two companies. They're not always just promoting this, and this.
No.
You know, so and that's what you become known for, Kerr, is you smoke everything. You promote other people's cigars more than your own.
But here's my thing though.
I don't know, he smokes a lot of his own though.
Yeah, but you know, as a cigar smoker, like
Kevin.
who would I be if I only smoked one type of cigar?
I know that.
How could I ever tell someone, oh, you know, you should try a cigar that I've never smoked?
Yeah.
Like, or how could you ever even comment, or how can you even ever expand your palate, or know what you like, what you don't like?
That's the key. Expanding your palate and being able to smoke blends, different regions, different countries, different interpretations of the tobacco and blends. I mean, you're not gonna know unless you start smoking, and then that's where you go, okay, here's my faves, you know, here's my wheelhouse, but I'm willing to smoke, you know, anything and give it a try.
Right.
I smoked an H. Upmann Signature Series the other day, and it was one that I had in my bag for years, and I just did not like it. It was it was a Habano. It had that sour Habano to it. It was just too sour, you know. But I've also had H. Upmanns that I thought were freaking fantastic.
Yeah, I like the Banker. Good cigar.
You know, I think that's why it's important that people do join Cigar of the Month clubs. You know, start off with one, and if you're not really feeling it, or if you feel like it's not for you, try a different one, because the more different experiences you have, then you kind of start to refine your palate. You start to realize, like, oh, okay, like this cigar is, you know, now I know, like, this company who makes it, where this leaf is coming from, what kind of tobacco's in this, and then you start, you know, doing that. But like, when you're part of the Cigar of the Month clubs, like people always ask, like, oh, like, how is it? Well, it's kind of, that's a hard question to ever answer. Like for me, like with the Ezra Zion, like I have really enjoyed, all their coffee and all their cigars, but because I enjoy like a more, like I would call it like more eclectic type of, like cigar smoking than some others. Some people need to have like that name, like there has to be, like they know who it's from, like where it's, and that's fine. Well, if that's what you need, then that's fine.
Because I want to be able to get that cigar again. And
right.
And Kerr and Jen, about Ezra Zion. Oh, hey, I really like this cigar, and you're never getting it again.
But I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
There's a difference where, for me, it's just the enjoyment of trying something new. And yes, I like certain cigars, and I would love to get it again, and I probably won't ever get it again, and that's just life, for me. And it's a choice that I'm making, and so what I'm doing is not for everyone.
Yeah, but at least you're able to experience it and be like, check, that was good, that wasn't good.
Yeah.
And try something different.
And then I found this on Instagram. I found this cigar lounge called Night Cigar Lounge, and they had a 5-pack of some Ezra Zions that I didn't pick up their 5-packs, and it was mixed up, and I was like, oh, score, I'm gonna purchase this. Great customer service, great people. I got the cashmere cigar, smoked that the other night. Fucking fantastic. I kicked myself in the ass for not picking up
I was going to get Kerr that one too, because we had just talked about Led Zeppelin.
Yeah,
and I didn't order it.
He has some more, so I'm going to reach out to him and get some, and I'm going to send you some.
Okay, good.
Because
that was on my list to get for him, and I didn't because of the name.
Fantastic cigar. Fantastic cigar.
Right.
So now I'm going to pick up some more from him because he said he had a few left. So I'm going to buy them, and then I was going to send you some, and I had some other Ezra Zions that I was going to send you that I picked up. So, like, that's, it's fine. If I never end up having, another, like, I'll have one or two, like, that I save. That's why I buy the 5-packs. But when I can find some that are in 5-packs where there's a couple different ones, I'm going to purchase them because, I just want to try it, but I might not necessarily always want to buy a 5-pack of that exact cigar.
Right.
Yeah, and that's the key of giving back and giving away. Like, we send so many cigars. Like, I sent Des like 30 cigars.
Yeah,
we
which
send
is
cigars
awesome.
all the time.
I saw that he was smoking the one from
the Kintsugi,
Alex and Bradley.
But that always comes back. That will always come back to you tenfold because especially when someone like we just send cigars out randomly, then it'll tag smoking this Alec Bradley Kintsugi that Kevin and Jess sent me, for free. Yeah. So then Alec and Bradley's like, oh, hey, Kevin and Jess is, they're promoting our brand by literally giving out the cigars that they bought. Yeah. So that, that's a lot of influence. A lot of influencers don't see that, as in giving back comes back to you.
I'm trying to think.
Yeah.
How many? I mean, and I'm not trying to be a dick here, but I'm trying to be a bully. I mean, I have exchanged cigars with Duncan. I mean, he's my buddy. He's my bro. Right?
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's one thing. Daryl and I exchange cigars, from time to time. But I've sent cigars out and shared. I have not. I think the only people I've really swapped cigars with on a regular basis and shared, just send something out of the clear blue sky has been you guys.
Yeah, I don't recall random packages. Just
I mean, because
for you,
I don't, and I have literally sent out a lot. I have recommended a lot. I have suggested a lot. I have given out a lot, at shops and stuff. But, I I don't know what it is. I don't know why. Maybe I was running with the wrong crowd. No, but I mean, like there's been a couple of guys like, Oscar Rodriguez sent me some cigars, and when he came out with La Cura, his new cigar, he sent me a couple of those because, they was brand new, stuff like that. But I'm talking about people within the cigar industry, like, not brand owners, but like, influencers or friends or people you're friends with. It's been few and far in between outside of you guys where someone's like, just get a package, just like, hey, I thought you'd like these. And if I know I've received some, so I don't want to downplay the ones who have sent me some cigars.
Oh no,
You know,
no.
But it's not on a regular basis.
Well, fuck no. I mean, not at all. I mean, not at all.
Yeah.
You know what the funniest thing I saw was, I loved it. Boston Jimmy posted a T-shirt that he was selling, the Boston Jimmy T-shirt, and he's like,
I didn't know he had a T-shirt.
And he's like,
Yeah.
these are available for freaking blah 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 blah, and had it up there in the price and everything. And what's his name from Roman Craft?
Skip.
I think Skip Martin said, "Hey, that looks great. Can you send me a sample?" And you know what? That statement alone, and you know Skip's, ball busted and Boston. Jimmy's a good guy, Skip. But that statement alone was just like so brilliant because the first thing you're like, man, I come out with a new cigar. Hey, can you send me a sample?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
So-
fucking money. Hey, I have a new T-shirt. Can you send me a sample? I want to wear it and see if it fits good, see how it looks. I want to wash it, see if it shrinks. If it doesn't shrink, maybe I'll buy one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just love,
That's
cigars
freaking classic.
bring people together. I like sharing. I don't think I'll ever not be that person, but I also am very, aware of, certain people
Oh, yeah.
that are influencing that I just don't, necessarily engage anymore. I'm just like, okay, they're doing their thing and that's cool for them, but I don't have to be part of that
So
or
when's the
looped
next-
into that.
When's the next barn smoker? Isn't that coming up?
Yeah,
Uh,
the
like,
Connecticut
that-
one.
Yeah, I'll be in Connecticut in
Connecticut.
Connecticut.
Is that August?
I leave the end of July and come back in the first week of August.
August 14th is
Yeah.
Connecticut.
So you leave a week and a half after I come back from Colorado.
Yeah. So we got August 14th is the Connecticut Barn Smoker.
Is there one in September?
September is
Texas.
is the 25th anniversary party in Texas.
Then
when's
then
that?
we're back.
October's Kentucky. isn't
Yeah,
it?
September 25th is the party in Texas. October 9th is the Connecticut
So now,
or
are
the
you guys
Kentucky
going
Barn
to
Smoker.
the Kentucky one?
No, not
I-
that I'm aware
No.
of. We didn't get
No.
tickets.
Okay.
No.
Connecticut's the only one that's sold out right now. So
I
then
would
you
love
got
to go, but
I'm still
You got-
looking. I'm still looking at trying to make a trip to Nicaragua this year.
yeah.
Yeah.
Kentucky in October,
And then November.
and then November is the 13th is the Florida Barn Smoker.
I would love to go to Pennsylvania.
yeah, that'd be.
Yeah, they didn't have. Yeah, they
Yeah,
didn't
they're
have
not
it,
doing it
unfortunately,
this year, I
Because
know.
I think because of the 25th anniversary party, they left out. And Pennsylvania was a real weird. Like most of the state was closed, so I
Yeah.
don't think.
Yeah,
they wanted-
yeah. No,
and
Pennsylvania.
then they didn't do the
Yeah,
Louisiana.
then the
ones.
Louisiana they didn't do.
I would love to either go to Kentucky. I would like to go to Pennsylvania just because that's my stomping
Well,
grounds.
Kentucky, I haven't gone to, or the Connecticut, so I'm finally going to go to the Kentucky one. I can't do the Connecticut and also do Colorado, so I had to choose. So
Yeah. Yeah.
See, I am 9 followers away from hitting 1,000 on Instagram.
Are you
Yeah.
really?
you can do it.
Congrats.
So,
Listen, I
Tells you how
will
much
tell
I
you
watch
that
Instagram.
Ronnie from Secreto Cigar Bar, he helped me out so much. He's just been a great just support of me and Kevin, but especially me, he just wants me to beat Kevin, I think mostly. But just super selfless, just constantly put my name out there and stuff. And that was awesome because I am very well aware that I'm never going to gain as many followers as some of these other influencers. And I've always been okay with that. I still post consistently like I always have. I don't, I've switched up a little bit. I've been doing a lot more stories, but they're fun, but I'm still just going to keep being me.
you will gain more followers
Yeah.
if you follow Kevin's lead on the car washing video today.
You need to do your
I hear
own
people keep
Independence Day
saying it
car
for
wash.
see me do it, and I was like, that's never happening.
Where's
First
your
off,
stars and stripes bathing suit, Jess?
First off, Kevin,
Kevin, I laughed so freaking hard.
Freaking great.
I mean, and you
With
know
the
what was
music.
what was disturbing about it was I didn't think it was going to go as long as it did.
It went
but
on.
I still watched it. I watched every single gyration.
So funny.
I was like, is he going to pour a bucket of? I was waiting to see what you're going to do next, and
Yeah.
I found it disturbing and erotic all at the same time.
Do you know how many people reached out to me? Quite a few. And then
That's gotten quite
someone
a few
else
views on
has
it.
reached
Gotten a
out
lot
to
of
me
views on
and
it.
said, like, I was like, I don't think anyone realizes how much I put up with, like, at all. And then I was like, help me. And then they were like, you should start a GoFundMe page for putting up with Kevin. And I just started laughing. But
Well, where were you when I was being filmed?
I was at work.
Okay, so what are you putting up with? He filmed it. He posted it. You didn't. I mean,
he only does this when I'm not around. And
but
then
it was
he
brilliant.
So
he
who's holding
posts
the
it
camera,
without
Kevin?
giving me a heads
It was
up.
brilliant.
It's brilliant, yes.
It
But
was
send it
fucking
to me
brilliant.
first, so I don't look on my phone and see, oh, Kevin tagged me in something, and there it is in my face, and I watch it on Facebook with everyone else, and
In the
people are
bathroom?
asking me
That's
questions. Then I'm like, wait, what? Why are they asking me this? And then I'm like, fucking Kevin. As I'm scrolling, I'm like, what the hell is this shit? I'm
I
like, but
loved
he did
it.
tell
Kevin, who
me.
is your producer?
He did tell me he was going to film something with those shorts, and I was just like, okay. But did you see the one with the beer poster?
No, that's only on
No.
TikTok.
Oh, you have to send them
Yeah.
that. That right there is everything. It's everything. That's like my favorite.
That
It is
freaking,
freaking
I gotta look it up because that
Yeah, I
video
don't know
was
that
just.
one.
I sat
The beer
there
poster?
because he sent
Oh,
it,
it's called. It's like he'll
I'll send it to you.
He'll send it to you.
Yeah.
It's
and Jennifer
hilarious.
sat there over my shoulder. We watched it. She's laughing,
funny.
and I'm just like laughing. My jaws in my
everybody's
lap.
like, "Oh, this is so funny. This is great," but they don't have to live with Kevin. Apparently he had Wyatt holding an umbrella and doing another TikTok.
That's
even
I saw
better.
an umbrella outside. I said, "Why is there an umbrella?" I said, "There was sun. I had to have Wyatt hold the umbrella." I'm like, "Now you're involving Wyatt
Oh
in your
my
weird
gosh,
TikToks."
that's great.
How many neighbors saw you in that bathing suit today?
I don't know what you
Hold
just
on,
did.
my big fat finger. Hold on.
It's awesome.
I like the music. My God.
That is like the best.
See that
It is the best.
So that's
Wow,
the
if that was
trend.
Miller Lite, it would be even better.
Yeah.
That was
Did
I
Miller
had
Lite.
to choose, but yeah. So yeah, that's the
Oh
trend
my
on
God.
TikTok. It's called the beer poster trend.
That's freaking awesome, man.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I could have chose Miller Lite, Corona, whatever.
It
Miller
was-
Lite.
Great.
That's
It's
Kerr's
fucking
favorite.
fantastic.
Miller
That one
Lite.
is probably my most favorite that he's done, just
That's
because
funny.
it's like that cheesy, like that's the shit that you think of, like when you think of like
That's
Merca
hilarious.
and like like with the beer, like 4th of July, like so perfect. It was
That's funny.
that
no,
was the
we
best.
didn't see that.
Yeah, no,
You know,
no, it was great.
And
The
like
video
I
fucking
know
just
I get on to
brilliant.
Kevin a lot about certain things, and it all
No,
stems
you
from
don't.
too. It's like I have like certain anxieties, but it's like when people reach out and I don't know what they're like, and then I have to find out later.
So
I
they
think
send you
that-
messages of, did you see what Kevin did?
Yeah, but I think that bothers me the most is that I find out afterwards. It's like I wish he would just say, "Hey, like just a heads up," because he doesn't realize like.
That's like a
tons
great
of people-
surprise, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean,
Great surprise. Yeah, but it's like people will message me and I don't always catch like what Kevin did, and then so I'm reading this stuff and then I'm like, wait, what the hell are they talking about? And then I'm like, oh, it's because Kevin's doing the most
But
right
Jess, think about this. Think about how freaking boring the day would be if Kevin said to you,
now. Oh,
"Hey,
yeah, it was so
these
boring.
shorts, I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna make a video of me washing the car, and then you start throwing in your 2 cents and everything." The beauty of it is, and the surprise is just him having this concept of in his head and going.
He doesn't listen to anything I say. so
That's
it wouldn't
exactly my
matter.
point. That's why.
But
It's-
I don't say how often do I ever tell you how to do any of your TikToks? Never.
When I tell you the concept ahead of
No,
time,
the
a lot
only
of times
time I tell
you'll
you-
give me your suggestions.
No, the only suggestion I gave you was with the tiny hands, and who was right?
Yeah.
Who was right?
Yeah, you're right.
Thank you. That was it. That's the only time I've
Yeah.
ever.
I didn't
given
like the
you
tiny
any
hands. I
suggestion.
didn't get it.
The one with the.
Yeah, I didn't
ribbon
like it.
dancer?
I didn't get it.
Yeah.
You didn't get the ribbon dancing?
I didn't like the tiny hand thing. No,
Yeah.
wasn't funny.
But that was him. I didn't order the tiny hands. He did.
Just like,
and I saw tiny hands one day,
Jess,
and I
I'm
said,
messing
"Why
with
do
you.
have-"
I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
great.
He goes, well,
So-
I go, why do you have tiny hands? He goes, I don't know, maybe do TikTok. And then he got those ribbons. I was like, ooh, you should put the ribbons in the tiny hands. And he was like, that's awesome. So that was the only 2 cents that I
Yeah,
ever given
right.
you. I've never
So,
interfered in your TikTok.
and
I didn't use the word interfere. That's a very strong word. You're
It
accusing.
is a strong word.
Do not
But I
put words in my
I
mouth, Jess.
have told him that there's certain things that I am uncomfortable with him doing on TikTok, and he is now maybe more aware and will think before he does certain things.
Which is
with
what?
certain everything.
So,
What's on
Like-
the list?
but you know,
Not okay.
You know, the last time I was down at
Disrespectful
at
and rude.
Smoke Inn a couple weeks ago with Abe, and Abe and I have had this conversation before about some of the wacky things I do, but even he said it's like, but there's nobody else that will do that. Like that video I posted today. Other than Juan Cancel from
Oh
Protocol,
yeah, he might do it.
but he's a brand owner. He's not an influencer, ambassador. Who else would have pulled that off? A guy. Not. I mean, there's plenty
I
of
don't know.
women.
There's probably other guys out there and girls
No.
that would do like wacky stuff
Well,
like that.
Girls, yes, could
Yeah.
pull
I
that
see.
off,
There's
but
other
yeah.
guys out there that would probably do it too.
But that's I think one of the appeals of me and a lot of manufacturers. They know, okay, so we can go to Kevin with the weirdest fucking idea.
yeah, but then
and
that
he's
also
go-
maybe
he's gonna
is like
do it.
not an appeal. It's like Kevin's doing a lot.
Yeah.
But
I think
I
it's
think I think it's comical. It's not like I've seen some people. I don't want to say anything about it. I've seen some videos. I'm just like, you know,
Yeah.
it's fucking a little disrespectful or not tasteful. I think the stuff you do is freaking. It's
Just funny.
funny
It
and like you said, I think it's a little bit more. It's cutting edge because it is like pushing the limit, but it's never being too tactful, untasteful, or disrespectful. And it's like you said, I think there's some folks that are like, it'd be really great, man, if I freaking smoked a cigar and I washed a car in these booty shorts.
Yeah.
And then they go, oh, dude, no, man, I can't do that, man.
Yeah.
You know, there's no way.
Yeah.
I can't pull it off. You know, what will people think? And then Kevin, the little
No,
man in
doesn't-
Kevin's head is like, fucking do it, bro. That's great. You
Yeah.
know, and they just go ahead and do it. And I think that's really
I know, but for me,
Talent.
like I get what he's doing, and I obviously he's doing it, so whatever. But as a couple, as each other's person, I'm sometimes more private.
Did you feel
Kevin
left
lets-
out? Do you think you should have watched Card as a couple? Is what you're saying? What
No,
I'm
no,
hearing.
Kevin puts a lot out there that sometimes I just wish he didn't, if that makes sense. Like, I'm entitled to also, like, everyone's all like, yeah, Kevin, that's great. But, like, we're still people. Like, there's still everyday stuff that we do that I don't feel like is anybody's fucking business. So Kevin's always putting everything out there so much that sometimes I wish he would rein it in a little bit. But I still obviously support him and let him do whatever he's going to do because I don't have a choice, really, he's doing it. But there's times where it does, like, affect me, and I have to say to him, like, hey, yo, like, some of the stuff that you do is somewhat, like, insensitive towards how I feel. Like, think a little bit sometimes about how I'm going to feel about it. Yeah, you got people to like it and haha, it's funny, but how does that affect me, the person you're supposed to think about, not everybody else? I don't give a shit. Like, I should be the person you think about. That's all. That's my 2 cents, Kerr. That's it.
You see, the little man in my head is like, don't say it, don't say it, don't say it,
Don't say it.
Don't say it.
Because you guys are men and you're not thinking from a perspective like, yeah, you always use the excuse, and it's an excuse sometimes, and I don't care, you can argue with me.
I
Like,
will.
oh, it's just business. It's just business. No, not everything is just business.
Well,
Not everything.
I will
tends to
I
be
will
just
disagree with you on that. And you can-
I know you do.
No, you can ask Jennifer. For me, there are certain lines that I will not say it's just business. There
Okay.
are certain things, and I'm like, you know what? There is a business that you have to maintain, or you have to conduct, or however you want to say it. But there are some things that are not. It's beyond that. It just is. I don't have the catch-all, you know, Well, it's just business. You know, I there are some things I will not do. I will not say. I will not promote or whatever. That may be better for the business, but I won't do it because it's beyond more than it's just business.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you for saying that. That's when I try to get Kevin to understand.
Well, I can't talk for you guys and your little
I know
universe.
you can.
But I
can't. I get what you're saying.
Right,
That's basically what I'm saying to Kevin. Is there is a
that's
line
me.
you have
But
to
that's
draw.
just me.
Right.
And I mean, and there's been times where I think I'm conservative, and Jennifer like, why are you doing that? I'm like, well, it's business. Well, I'm like, well, you got to understand something. There's something. It's there's many times you must take your personal feelings. You can't get so bent out of shape about it. You know, especially when you're a brand owner, you can't get bent out of shape about shit. Yeah. You have
and
to.
It's hard.
It's very hard.
And I get that, and I tell Kevin, like, I understand I'm being emotional, but sometimes
you can't be.
Sometimes I get that, but I can be because I'm still a human being. My feelings should still matter in some aspect.
Oh, I'm not saying it shouldn't.
You have to alter everything that you do, but think about a little bit before you maybe do something of how that might affect the person.
Right, and it's not discounting your. I'm not saying discount your feelings or emotions behind it because I think that's really important.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But I mean, even when Jennifer and I'll explain. I'll give her.
I don't get that.
Well, I'm not comparing, so stop comparing, Jess.
Oh, I'm comparing because
holy shit! I walked right in that one, Kevin. I'm sorry, but I'll explain, and she'll be like, "I just disagree," and I'm like, "Well, thank you very much, but ultimately, it's my decision at the end of the day."
I just retreat back and make T-shirts.
But I'm like, make fucking T-shirts. It'll be cool. But there are some things that I'll do, and it's like, listen, I'll give you an example. She hated and did not like that I had the stick man on my show. And I'm like, well, here's the deal. He owns a cigar shop. He called me. He apologized. He said that he asked me to be on the show. He said he wanted to tell about, do his apology and then talk about his new shop. And I said to him, he wanted to bring my stuff in. I said, well, it's cash up front. I'll send you the stuff afterwards. I'll have you on the show. Just be aware. You've pissed off a lot of people. You're probably not going to get a lot of happy people on the show, et cetera, because when I started my show, anybody in the cigar industry, when it comes to that, I'll have on the show because that's what my show's about. My show's not about me. It's about the person I'm interviewing.
Right.
And if it's someone who people hate, people love, then the audience will dictate how that flows. And he came on the show, and it was a good show. And we had a few people that were obnoxious that night, which I expected. He expected it. And, he disappeared again and did stickman stuff. But I can't be honest with myself and the people who view my show when I say the Stogie Road show, the Stogie Road Diaries, we'll have folks on. I'll ask them questions. It's a conversation. I don't care. It's in the cigar industry. They're influencers, brand owners, cigar shop owners, whatever the case may be. I'm going to have people on the show. It's not going to be a ban because of X, Y, Z. And he was man enough to call me and apologize. And I'll take that at face value.
Yeah, I won't lie. I give Kevin shit sometimes, about certain things, but for the most part, your show is your show. Like you're running it, I think for me, it was just more of like other things that are outside of the show that I'm like, it's a choice that you're making, like to do certain things and that you don't actually have to do. So I think I wanted him to just say like, I want to do that. And he wouldn't say it. And I had to like force you to kind of admit that you just like doing it. Because you can't just say it's for the business. It was more of an enjoyment thing.
It's for the business.
That's your line, Kevin, now. It's for the business.
Yeah, she's giving you the roadmap, Kevin. Now just
That's
go.
All you have to say.
Jess, the reason why I want to be in a booty shorts is because I enjoy it.
That doesn't really bother me. Like, honestly, like that really didn't. But
well, that's an example.
Just something like a heads up would have been a little nice. Like, hey, when you like hop on social media, you might see a video or something. But it was like I opened my my phone up and there's like messages and I'm like, what are people telling me? I'm like, Kevin.
But I know how much you love surprises.
No, I hate
You do.
surprises.
So do I.
I hate them.
But
Anyway.
I know we're running a little towards the end, but I really wanted to get to Kerr. When is two-part question?
Yes, sir.
Kerr, when is the new cigar going to be released? Because I saw these beautiful boxes. And
Yeah.
Jen, are you prepared to be back in the shipping business like you never have
Yes.
been before?
Are
you?
Yep, got boxes delivered. The only thing I need to pick up is probably packaged peanuts, but we're even thinking of, yeah, I do. We just got a shipment of boxes.
What about peanut? What about the big rolls of the paper?
I have that. I do. I already have everything from bubble wrap to shipping paper to tape. I'm ready. I have my labels for my printer.
Now, do you know how much like each foot of the paper's costing? You factor that in, and no, okay.
I'm not that good yet.
Kevin will just get with you afterwards.
No, I get mine for free.
I'm just
Yeah, so I luckily enough, I ordered so much stuff. I haven't paid for peanuts in 2 years.
Well, also,
no,
to be honest,
I'm
for a
not nowhere
while,
near that.
we were saving peanuts and we had to throw tons of them out.
Yeah.
Because
I
we were
save
like
packaging. We do
yeah, but
have
it was
that,
like
but-
we did do that for a long time, and then it got to the point where it was like, oh my god, there's just so much.
I had a
packaging.
55-gallon container full of peanuts.
It was
Really?
Yeah, because last
It was-
weekend I actually Amandola's box is a similar size to what ours will be coming in, so I used that as my template and was kind of mapping out boxes and do I want them taller, wider, kind of different sizes, and all our boxes are now here for me to ship.
Yay!
Okay, so you're getting a good deal on
Exciting.
boxes. Do you use one of my vendors I sent you?
Yes.
Okay.
Nice.
Scared me. What the hell was that?
Was it a bug?
No, that was a beer cap.
Oh, it was a beer cap.
No, it wasn't.
I don't know
No,
what it was.
what?
Something went flying. What was that?
That was your earplug out of your ear went flying. My watch caught the spring on my microphone, and it just went. That's it.
Scared me. I
And
saw Big Rose
popped.
earlier today.
That popped
when
in
we
the
were-
air.
when we
My
were
Bob the
out.
Cigar Guy Christmas.
It was in my
ornament.
peripheral.
Yeah.
I'm a little on edge today because earlier today it wasn't here. I saw a large insect and it's freaked me out all day, as well as a hairy caterpillar that had a skull face on it. So Joe and I are trying to figure out which poisonous caterpillar this was.
Yeah, just don't touch any caterpillars
didn't.
and you're good.
So anyway,
So
go ahead.
part one, Kevin.
Part one.
Since
Have any of your boxes or products entered the States yet?
it's left Nicaragua.
Oh, it's left already.
Yeah. So
you checking that tracking number every day? Or is it not work-
I
does it
will
not work
be.
like
I
that?
actually I had a conversation with Chris yesterday. We were on the phone for almost 2 hours because we have a couple other things going on that are really exciting right now. He's actually coming out with his 10th anniversary cigar,
Nice.
Faded. It's he's going to be sending me a sampler up here, and it's going to be freaking good. He's getting he's got some fantastic tobacco he's working with on it, but my cigars should be in by the end of next week, but with 4th of July, it may go into Monday.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
know.
All right. So are you bringing them all in? Are you sending them to the bonded warehouse? Or are you bringing them all into your place?
All in here.
So
Greenville,
your
South
first order.
Carolina.
All in here. All into the Stogie Road Cigars and Viajante Stogie Road business. They're going to be stored here. We have our area that we store our cigars that is perfectly temperatured and humidified. And we will have boxes of each blend, and we will also have some sampler bundles as well.
Oh, nice.
Now, how are you doing your samplers? Are you just putting them into individual, like just envelopes? Or are you doing some kind of shrink wrapping or?
No, they're shrink wrapped. But then I'm also have the some bundles where I'll be able to take one each and put them in a humidified bag and send them across.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Well,
Nice.
Yeah, so we're excited about it. I mean, it's a
7
long
months.
time coming. It's been 7 months. Well, it's actually been longer than that. It's been about 8 months since we separated from our old factory. not the old factory, the old factory. And it's been delayed a month because of the wood issue and getting boxes and stuff. And
The boxes look amazing.
and even this time around,
They do.
I ordered double the amount of the boxes, so they actually have extra boxes stored down there. So the next order, they'll just pack them, and fill them and send them across. So
I think people are going to clamor after those boxes because of your lid that actually comes off. I love the lid.
Yeah, I mean those boxes are so.
That's why I said, like in our group message, it's like, has anybody ever sold empty boxes on their website before? Because I think people would love those boxes.
Those lids are just amazing.
The new, we did our new art, right? That 70s, 60s style poster on the front. So, and I really loved what Chris and the factory did with the front, with the Stogie Road logo, and the size, and then you pop the lid in it so they can see the cigar. But on the inside, we actually had it printed off on this parchment paper, and it was affixed to the bottom, which is the traditional Stogie Road cigars. I didn't want to deviate in some areas of the old box.
You wanted to blend it.
I wanted to blend it. I really wanted to set, it's Stogie Road Cigars Nicaragua or 2.0, whatever you want to call it, but we were able to really take this new concept and still marble in some of the old. Yeah. And the other was the cigar band. That was literally when we separated from Tabacalera Cafe and Tabacalera San Geronimo. First thing I did was I ordered cigar bands. And you guys, Kevin, I was sending you.
Oh yeah.
It was funny is I had this band, and then I kind of went and tried something different. I came back. I'm like, fuck it, I'm going with the original band.
Yeah.
And we've been getting so many great compliments and comments on that
because
band.
It's on our Detour. 2001.
It's on our the Stogie Road Detour, the 2021 limited edition cigar that we've been selling.
Where's I sent someone to your website, and then I went and looked. You couldn't find that cigar. Where was it at?
I'm gonna tell you something. I put the cigar for the first time on the website. It was like a Wednesday morning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
By Wednesday at noon, I was sold out. I had to take it off.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I know, like, during your last show, Kevin Corbliss had mentioned he got them.
Yeah.
Someone reached out to me. He's like, "Hey, I couldn't find him." I'm like, "Well, just go to his website." And then I went to your website, and I'm like,
Kevin Corbliss, and Daryl. I mean, it was like. It was a big order. Yeah. I was like, holy shit, Kevin. I mean...
Like, I even asked Kevin, kind of like, did you type the wrong number
Did you really
in?
mean this? Because they're selling individually.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know they were individual.
Yeah, they were individual cigars. And it was like that. We were sold out. So we
That's awesome.
I have some more coming in. But it was like... I had a bunch here, and I've been sitting on them for a while. And I had a couple that I've been wanting to smoke. I smoked one tonight, and then I'm like, I'm gonna take some pictures and put it on the website. And it was like freaking. He must have been stalking things. I mean, it was like by noon. I was like, Jen, we got an order. I said, did you see the freaking order? I'm like, I got to take it off the website now.
Yeah, Kevin's a great guy.
He is.
Yeah.
If you do know somebody who wants some, I have a couple left.
Yeah.
He can reach out to me. My fear is throwing them on the website and then getting more and more orders again.
Yeah.
But if you do have someone who wants a couple, send them my way and send me a DM and I'll hook them up.
But you do have more coming in.
I do have more coming in.
Yeah, but that's understandable. You don't want to all of a sudden put them back on the website and then get more orders than you have.
Yeah.
I don't, especially with this,
them.
because it's kind of it's coming from a factory. These cigars have at least 5 years of aging on them, and they're very limited, and they're coming in waves based off of.
Right.
And I think this will probably be the last wave, and then they're done till next year when we want to get the new ones. And then, I had samples and smoked samples of the Lanceros
if anybody wants to buy one, just hit up Kevin. Not you, Kevin, the other Kevin, because apparently he bought them all. No, just kidding.
Yeah, and Daryl. I mean, Daryl was like, "Yo, man," he goes, "I won." I was like, "All right, bro, I got you." and then the Lanceros. And Chris has been. He keeps talking. I said, listen, bro. I not till November. That's when I want to do my Lanceros, like I did, originally. But we have all 4 blends, and they all came out freaking awesome.
It's exciting.
Yeah, that'll be a great like Black Friday, Christmas, kind of.
This is just all good timing. This is like
it is, and you know what?
Of...
The size that we have is the Toro. It's a 50. It's a 6x50 Toro. The old blends were 6.5 by 52, and for some reason that 6x50 with the blend is just like, it's perfect. Yep,
and I'm working with Joe Genovese for the newest edition of
the Guayabera.
Yep, probably in August. But new reblended cigars factory. We're kind of elevating and changing up this shirt. So
yeah, I'll tell you, he finally came out with a black one, black on black Guayabera.
Yeah.
That I bought. I've only worn it twice because the Stogie Road one is better.
Well,
yeah.
Thank you.
It's a better.
That's one of my favorites. I have to say, out of all the ones we did, that one that you wear
and the big tone
and the big, it's
because
perfect.
of the goddamn pockets. You got like Joe, which it's a very clean looking shirt.
Oh, it's beautiful.
The collar's a little small for me.
It's a Mandarin collar. That's why.
And then it's only got like the one pocket that you can get like a Lancero in. And I don't know. I like the big pockets. I like being able to put all my.
Well, that's just it. It's not that you didn't like the shirt. It just wasn't the right fit with the pockets and the style.
Oh yeah, no. It's
so
like the Stogie Road. It was just everything was it's just a great.
It's got a great design, but those pockets are freaking.
He needs to start making those dresses again. He's not making any of those, and I have one. And I love it.
Stogie Road dresses.
I don't know.
I don't know if I can look good in one though, Kev.
Some women actually reached out and was like, "Oh, where'd you get that?" But they don't he doesn't sell them anymore.
Maybe we should do that. Look in the Stogie Road dresses.
Yeah,
I mean, even if it wasn't a dress, but maybe a more feminine shirt,
Well, I can get the Guayaberas in a women's cut because I get the shirts. So, and I always post it when we do our ads for it for the pre-orders. You can get a women's size. You just have to order it and let me know.
Yeah. And Joe's such a great guy, man. He is.
No, he is.
And awesome.
But man, that dress is awesome. So, but it's probably not something that all women are gonna, more men are gonna buy the Guayabera shirts. Yeah. That's just a fact.
I mean, it
is.
It's kind of hard to get some of the pictures that you see on Instagram and Facebook in a Guayabera.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean.
Yeah, that was the only piece of clothing I've ever done a review on.
Yeah, I remember that. That was great.
It was that shirt. It's like the best shirt ever.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, man. We really always appreciate whenever we see you with taking pictures in the Stogie Road shirt. I'm like, thanks, Kevin. Love it, man.
Yeah, it's awesome.
But I'm like you, man. I love that. That shirt is one of my favorites too because the pockets are like. The first time I ever saw like a Guayabera in person was Felix Mesa from El Galan was doing an event, and I picked him up at I picked him up at the hotel, and we were shooting shit in English and him in Spanish with a translation machine. But one of the nicest guys. As I was leaving, I was giving him a hug. He was like handing me cigars, and they were just coming out of fucking everywhere. It was like freaking giving a hug to what the hell?
Willy Wonka of the cigar industry.
It was like who's that one? Not comedian, the magician who's married to like Heidi Klum.
David Copperfield.
Copperfield. He was like, thank you. Boom, boom, boom. I'm like. Dude, where are these coming from? Like he had
it's like Mary's Poppins bag.
It was like a bandolero of like cigars, like.
Oh, that's so funny.
But I realized he had all these pockets.
No.
But he was just pulling them out of everywhere. And I was like, I called Duncan. I goes, "Did you drop off Felix?" I go, "Yeah." I said he gave me 8 cigars. I have no idea where he pulled them from, but he had 8 cigars. Like he didn't have a bag. But they just came out of everywhere.
And the difference between your Guayabera and like I didn't like the traditionals. I don't like the like that linen they use. It's like really thin. Yeah, like yours has some weight.
It's
I like
weight,
Yeah.
it's structured. It just has such a great feel to it.
I like it heavy when it sits on you. Like
Yeah.
I don't like to be able to move inside the shirt. Like the shirt stays and like
So you're just not like it's like silk sheets.
Your
It's like
nipples
you're
are rubbing on the
sliding.
linen and it's weird. And,
It feels like an exoskeleton.
Some people
Yeah.
just like that silky feel.
But I always
you
like
know?
the weighted blankets. I
I-
like being heavy. So the shirt's heavy, but
Yeah.
it's not like it's weighing you down.
Yeah.
So
It's
No,
good.
that's exciting. This is going to be.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see.
Yeah, I don't know what Jennifer's going to do, but she's done a great job with all of them. I mean, really, all of them have been cool.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
still wear the. I love the Sweetgrass Gringo too. It's just
I know. I love that shirt.
so different. But
yeah,
thanks, I
hopefully one day
appreciate
the
that,
show
Kev.
takes off because people keep asking me about my damn hat.
I know.
Hey,
Well,
I know where can we buy the hats? I go. You say you want a hat until I order 100 of
Exactly.
them, then nobody wants the damn hat.
Yep.
The hats are awesome.
Yeah, I'm looking at 80 hats right there. Oh, can we get a hat? So I order like 200 hats, like 12 people, and then everybody wants a trade. Hey, I'll trade you. No, that's not the way this works.
No.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's a business. Jess, that's where you got to say it's a business.
I get that.
It is. People say, people with 6 Instagram followers. Hey, if I'll wear your shirt if you send it to me, and I'm like, you have like 6 followers. Who's gonna
Great.
see the damn shirt?
At a family
Well,
dinner.
it is.
It is kind of messed up.
No, yeah, it's messed. Yeah, you're right. It's messed up that they asked me for something free with 6 followers.
I don't. But I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't have nearly as many followers as some of these other influencers, and I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna keep doing what I do.
You're better than them anyway.
Yeah,
So.
I'm just happy where I am with my followers because I've just tried to grow organically, and
Yeah.
Lord knows I don't have like the structure. I wish I had the structure you guys had with just like all the hashtags and shit like that. But
That's all because I saved mine.
But you're,
so do I. But I'm
how
just
you feel.
lazy.
But Kerry, you're at the so the average male person in the cigar industry that has an Instagram, it's like 1,000 to 1,500. That's it. Like that's the roadblock that they hit. I'm at almost 6,000 as well. And like I said, that's kind of unheard of, and like on the male side of
as far as influencing, not as
influencing
a
on
manufacturer.
Instagram.
Unless you pay for them.
unless
yeah,
you pay.
unless you
pay for
Listen,
them.
we've been posting for 5 years straight.
Yeah.
We would have a lot more if we paid for
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
Just saying.
I think I got on
There are
Instagram
people who have like 100
2
posts
years ago.
Yeah.
that
it
are
hasn't been
that
that
are
long.
over like 12K, and I'm like, how?
3
They
years
have
ago.
100 pictures. I have like over almost 2,000 pictures. How does someone have 12K
Right.
followers with 100 posts?
Well,
I don't get
I did what you did. I switched mine over, Kevin, so I could see the all the
Analytics.
analytics
yeah.
and stuff. But like I think we've been doing it for 3 years. I think when I came out my cigars, when I started doing my Instagram, really was when Stogie Road Cigars came out, and we
Yeah.
have 990 posts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
You
it's
think about that, right? You think about how much you've posted.
and
And how does somebody who has like 50 posts or 100 posts get that many?
Yeah.
There's something not. There
Yeah,
can't be something.
it's all about
legit there.
consistency. It's just posting.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the Facebook analytics are the ones that always kind of crack me up.
Yeah, those are a joke.
It was like 3 years ago, I'd end a show. It was like you had 1,200 viewers. Now I can see the live views that we have.
Yeah.
And we get a pretty decent amount of live views. And afterwards, like, you had 13 people. I was like, whoa, what? That doesn't make
Right.
sense. I don't
Yeah.
I don't even get wrapped around the axle anymore. It's been years since I used to get really obsessed about the numbers on people watching. Now it's like I'm having fun.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying myself. I'm still sticking to what I originally started doing, and we get great viewers. We have a loyal following, and I don't care what the statistics say because they don't make sense anymore. They just don't.
I couldn't tell you a single show that we've had in the last 9 months. I couldn't tell you what Facebook says.
No, but
have.
we
I've
also
never
pretty
looked.
much kind of stopped really looking at how many people view.
Yeah.
Like, because now it's just really more about putting, engaging and trying to put out more. And now
Yeah.
that I'm sitting and kind of doing the more, taken some of the weight off of him. Like, trying to be on the show was great and stuff, and like Kevin obviously was like, oh, you know, be on the show, but this has taken some of the responsibility off of him where he can concentrate on the other stuff, and I'm enjoying myself.
Nice.
So, you know,
Joe should be in charge of your
Joe,
Instagram.
so it's freaking
but it actually is really fun. Like, I'm enjoying it, and like it's
she wouldn't have fun. She'd be like, did you see what someone posted? I'd have to deal with someone bitching at me about stuff, and I'm just like,
well, it's just nice, you know, to have the, you know, the tickers, because I never ran the tickers ever, you know, because but she runs
so
tickers.
It's a lot going on.
Yeah, there's too much going on.
You know, one of the makers recommends, you know, or says, hey, we got this charitable foundation. She looks up online, she creates a ticker, throws it on there, and it's all done.
Yeah.
And it's just so nice having that in the background, you know. And even Joe can do that, you know.
He could. It's you know, it's just, you know, here was the other thing though, was
or Jen.
Jen's like, don't you dare volunteer me for this. I got enough going on.
No. It's no.
No, but it's definitely been like, you know, trial and error, and that's, you know, and I think now you're definitely more calm than you ever used to be.
Yeah.
I mean, he used to just be so uptight like 2 or 3 days before the show, and now he's definitely more relaxed, which is good. Yeah, he still does his list.
I still have 8.
And I'm like, he still has
the average show has 8
Now
pages.
he has given me the list so I can follow along, because apparently me sitting there listening and knowing, like, when he says something to, like, now I have to have paper that tells me.
Now there's 2 lists.
But I was like, whatever. I was like, I can, you know, I know when I'm supposed to hit this. And he's like, well, at least you can follow along. Okay, whatever. If it makes him happy, whatever. It's fine. Okay.
If it makes you happy.
Well, on that note, not too bad for taking a week off. You know, 2.5 hours. I think we got it all. We still never heard about the Sunflower Festival, so we're gonna bring that for next week.
Holy shit! I forgot about that.
Yeah, we gotta talk about that. So, I'm Kevin.
I'm Jessie.
I'm Kerr.
I'm Jen.
And remember,
bullies
make good friends.
From Kev, Jess, Kerr, and Jen, we are the Broadleaf Bullies. Thank you for joining us, and remember, bullies make good friends.